welcome you to this installment of Nebraska Baseball here on 90.3 KRNU. I'm Zach Penrose, and alongside me today providing your color commentary is Josh Skluzacek. Josh, good to be back here in the Haymarket, isn't it, even though it is a little bit cold today, huh?
Yeah, a little chilly out today, but man, it's fantastic. Just good to be back and have that baseball atmosphere again in spring, even though a little chilly. I'll take it to have baseball.
Well, Josh, we are ready to get underway here at Haymarket Park in Hawks Field. Nebraska freshman pitcher Matt Waldron on the hill today for the Huskers, and this will be his third start this season. He's a freshman from Omaha, Nebraska, out of Omaha West Side, and his first pitch to the Shocker leadoff man Tanner Kirk is hit back to Waldron, and Waldron goes on to first base and is in time for the out to Scott Schreiber, and one pitch and one out here for the Huskers in the top of the first.
Well, I mean, that's the perfect way to start for a pitcher. That's kind of the way you envision it going right out of the bullpen when you're warming up. Steps right out on the mound, first pitch, easy out. Nice little play there, too. Comes right back up the middle, able to snag it and throw to first. Nice play from the freshman.
So one down here in the top of the first for Nebraska as Mikael Muka steps in for the Wichita State Shockers. The first pitch is up and in and a ball. Second delivery on the way is low and away. 2-0 from Waldron to Muka. About 40 degrees here as we get this game started. A bit cold, but the sun is out, and the crowd has really arrived here, Josh, for a Sunday afternoon game.
Yeah, I know you and I were talking about it on the way. The cold weather, not sure how many people are going to show up, but a pretty good crowd here to take this one in.
Waldron's 2-0 is in for a strike, and that makes it 2-1. The left-handed batter, Muka, sees his 2-1 and is hit into left field. Over for the Huskers, and it's dropped by the left fielder, Luis Alvarado, and it gets down and it's in for a hit off the glove of Alvarado, and Muka is in for a single.
Yeah, pretty tough play there for Alvarado. He was coming in full speed, a nice dive, and just wasn't able to close it. I mean, it landed right in his glove, just popped out there at the end, but a good effort from Alvarado. Now we'll have to see how Waldron, the freshman, settles down. He's got a runner on, has to go from the stretch now. See how that affects him. They
will score that a hit. It was off the glove of Luis Alvarado, but they do score that a hit. Now steps in for the Wichita State Shockers is Ryan Tinkham. Tinkham is a .273 batter in the 3-hole for the Shockers, a right-handed hitter. And the first offering is a curveball, but it's just inside on Tinkham, 1-0 from Waldron. Muka gets his lead off of first base. Waldron doesn't seem too worried about him. As Tinkham in the box, as Waldron comes set. Here's 1-0. Is hammered into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. That'll advance the runner Muka to second, but he won't get any more than that. Alvarado's throw into the cutoff man, and it will be first and second with one out here in the top of the first. Waldron facing a little bit of adversity here early, Josh.
Yeah, and so, I mean, as a freshman, this is where you kind of see for Darren Erstad and your guys, this is how you see how your guys respond now. Just a freshman, you see what they're made of here. That was a sharp line drive. I mean, he didn't just get a piece of that. That was lined into left. So now with 2 on, this is right where Wichita State wants to be. And these 3, 4, 5 guys knocked in 40% of their runs on the season. So definitely the dangerous part of their lineup.
Gunnar Troutwine steps in for the Wichita State Shockers as he sees Waldron's first pitch. And it's in there for a strike right across the plate, 0-1. Troutwine, a .339 hitter that's tied for first on the team, has 3 home runs and has batted in 15 RBIs this year, and is batting .324 with runners in scoring position, or is batting .348, with runners in scoring position. So very good hitter here at the plate, facing the freshman Nebraska pitcher Matt Waldron. Waldron's 0-1 is in there for a strike. Just caught the outside corner there, Josh, on a 4-seam fastball.
Yeah, good pitch there from Waldron. He's taking a lot of time there checking those runners, but a good pitch there.
Troutwine falls behind 0-2. Taylor Fish behind home plate catching Matt Waldron's pitches today. Schreiber at first, Schleppenbach at second, Revelis in short, and Jake Plotchek plays third for the Huskers. Bolt's in center, Alvarado in left, and Jake Myers is in right. As Waldron has been called for a balk here. He was coming set on the 0-2 and looked to make a pickoff move, but he apparently made a mistake there, Josh, and both runners advance at second and third now with just one out here in the top of the first.
Yeah, not exactly a perfect start here for Waldron. You saw Revelis came up there, talked to him, and now his catcher will go up there, try to calm him down a little bit, talk him through things. It's easy for this to kind of snowball on you. Runners second and third, and you're in the dangerous part of their lineup. You know, if things start going bad here, it doesn't take a whole lot for things to snowball. So a nice job there by Fish going out there to talk to him. Also, Revelis trying to just calm him down, saying you'll be fine. Just focus on the batter and get this out.
Waldron back on the hill. Fish back behind home plate. It's an 0-2 count to Gunnar Troutwine, the cleanup hitter for the Shockers. Waldron's 0-2 is just high. Waldron wanted that one, so did Erstad and these fans. They really wanted that one, but it's 1-2 now. Both runners still in scoring position.
Yeah, did not miss by much there at all.
Muka on third, Tinkham on second base for the Shockers. Troutwine's at the plate. 0-0 game early in this one, top of the first, one gone. And Waldron faces Gunnar Troutwine in a 1-2 count, and Troutwine will step out. Trying to throw Waldron's timing off a little bit here early, Josh.
And now after that, should have been third strike. You got to kind of reset as a pitcher. See if you can fight through this here. Got to get one more strike.
Waldron's 1-2 is pitched, and he got him looking. Strike 3 called. That's Waldron's first strikeout of the day, and that is his 16th on the year. Waldron, very big out there for the freshman.
Yeah, he needed that. That was absolutely beautiful, and the Wichita State staff not exactly liking that. They're going to talk to the umpire a little bit, but that was a beautiful pitch. Painted the outside corner right on the black, and that's a big out for Matt Waldron.
Low and outside was the pitch, but he just caught the corner, and Troutwine was frozen, and in steps Luke Ritter, the third baseman for the Shockers. 2 men in scoring position. Ritter bats 400 with runners in scoring position. As Waldron's opening delivery catches about the exact same spot as his last pitch, but it's a curveball in there for strike 1.
Yeah, there you go. That's what he needs. He just needs to start getting some strikes, hitting that outside corner. He seems to be working it well early on. Can keep hitting that spot. Mix your pitches up a little bit. Should be fine getting out of this inning.
Terrific glove placement right there by Taylor Fish as well, helping him paint those corners. As Waldron's 0-1 pitch is in, it's a ground ball to the third baseman, and that's going to be on to first and in time. And Matt Waldron, a terrific job to get out of that jam. 2 runners left in scoring position, and in the top of the first inning, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 men left on base in scoring position. We will head to the bottom of the first inning here. Huskers and Shockers tied at 0-0. Nebraska coming to bat with Ryan Bolt, Jake Plotchik, and Ben Miller. Don't go away. You're listening to Nebraska Baseball on 90.3 KRNU. We're back here at Hawks Field in Haymarket Park for Nebraska and Wichita State. And the Wichita State pitcher, Clayton McGinnis, he's a freshman right-hander who faces Ryan Bolt, and his second pitch to Ryan Bolt is hammered to deep right center field. Back goes the right field Dugas, but he'll catch it on the warning track, and that's one away for the Shockers here early. The first pitch to Ryan Bolt was a ball, and then the second pitch was hammered there to deep right center field, but it was caught on the warning track by the right fielder, Dayton Dugas. And that's one away for the Shockers here in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, I mean, similar start to for Waldron as well. You saw right away swinging and getting it out there. So a good start for McGinnis too. Hopefully that'll calm him down. He's been struggling early this year.
In steps Jake Plotchik, who the first pitch is hammered to deep left field, and that is going to be gone over the wall. Plotchik's first pitch from McGinnis just barely clears the left field wall, and it's a solo shot. Huskers strike first, and they strike early in the first inning. 1-0 Red. Jake Plotchik just sent that over the wall very quickly right there. The senior who bats .255, that's his 3rd home run of the season. And Josh, what a start right there for the Huskers. 3rd pitch comes from McGinnis, and it's over the wall.
Yeah, right as I'm saying, that's kind of how you want to start. Get a quick out there and hopefully settle in. Just a sharp liner right over the wall, just a laser from Plotchik. A good start for the Huskers.
In steps the designated hitter, Ben Miller. He bats left, facing the right-handed Clayton McGinnis, who's a freshman, who has a 6.14 ERA, 1-0 on the year, but has 9 appearances, but this only being his 3rd start. And that's 9 appearances, and this being their 19th game of the year, so it's a lot of appearances as Millers hits a little slow ground ball to the shortstop, Vickers, but gets it in time to Janista at first. 2 gone here in the bottom of the 1st for the Shockers. At first base is Janista. Second is Kirk. Shortstop, Vickers. At third is Ritter. And in the outfield playing center, it's Mikhail Muka. In left is Josh DeBacher. And in right is Dayton Duga. Behind home plate is Gunnar Troutwine, and on the mound is Clayton McGinnis, the freshman. Battle of the freshmen on the mound today. As in steps Scott Schreiber for the Huskers. 2 gone here in the first. 1-0 Nebraska after that Jake Plotchek solo home run.
And this is a guy that's been hot for the Huskers, Scott Schreiber. Absolutely red hot. Got to be careful with him.
He bats .332 as the second pitch is in and it's low. And that makes the count 2-0. Scott Schreiber bats .322 on the year. Has hit 6 home runs and has 17 RBIs. Both those home runs and RBI numbers lead the team. As the 2-0 count is in for a strike just down the middle. Good take there, though. A little bit low. And it's 2-1.
You know, McGinnis has been pretty good in his starting outings. Not so good in relief.
As that pitch, the 2-1 up and in, and it just catches Schreiber on the hand. He'll take first base. Schreiber is hit by the pitch. It's the 4th time he's been hit by the pitch this season. And his on-base percentage is very high, Josh. It's .394, and he extends it there, getting on base any way he can, and that makes it so. Jake Myers, the sophomore right-handed batter, bats right, throws left, steps into the plate for the Huskers. Myers bats .354 for the Huskers, has hit 1 home run and has knocked in 7 RBIs. The first pitch to Myers is hammered into left center. That's going to clear the gaps. That might clear the wall, but it's off the wall. Incoming to score is Schreiber. He will score standing up. Myers into third for a triple. 2-0 Huskers. Jake Myers hammers that one to the deepest part of the ballpark. And it's 2-0 Nebraska. Jake Myers, his 4th triple of the season. No other Husker has more than 1 triple this year, and that's Jake Myers' 4th. He knocks in Scott Schreiber. It's 2-0 Nebraska, Josh.
Well, they're hitting the ball sharply off of McGinnis here early on. They're getting pitches over the plate and just absolutely driving them. These are sharp liners. And this one went right under a little that advertisement in left center. And the left fielder threw his arms up there to try to get a ground rule double, but not happening. Umpires didn't have any of it.
In steps Taylor Fish, the senior catcher. He bats .306. Knocked in 1 home run and has 7 RBIs. Jake Myers is the runner on third base, and McGinnis, the freshman pitcher for the Shockers, is in a little bit of a jam here early. Taylor Fish, he's a 1-0 count. Ground ball just over the head of McGinnis, and it goes to the second baseman, Kirk, on to first and in time to Janista. But Jake Myers has a triple that knocks in Scott Schreiber. Jake Plotchek has a solo home run, and it's 2-0 Nebraska in the first inning. In the bottom of the first, 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. It's 2-0 Nebraska going to the top of the second inning. You're listening to 90.3 KRNU. Back here at Hawks Field at Haymarket Park to the top of the second inning. As in steps the batter, Grayson Janista. And the first pitch he sees from freshman pitcher Matt Waldron is in the dirt, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch from Waldron is hit to the right side, and it's almost a diving play by Schleppenbach, but it gets into right field to Jake Myers, and that's a leadoff single for Grayson Janista there, Josh.
Yeah, and I mean another early leadoff hit here for the Shockers. I mean, last time they had a good situation going, 2 on, 1 out, unable to get things done. Let's see if Waldron can work out of this again.
In steps Dayton Duga for the Shockers. Janista stands on first. Waldron will be out of the stretch here as his opening offering to Duga. is low in the dirt. A little bit of a tight strike zone here today, as the sun is just trying to peek through these clouds here. We're sitting in the low 40s temperature. Sun is out, but it's chilly here in Lincoln, Nebraska today, as it was yesterday. It was much cloudier and snowing in the 9th inning yesterday in the game, as the 1-0 pitch is high and outside, 2-0 to Dayton Dugas.
Yeah, a little better conditions here today. At least don't have to deal with the snow. Nice sunny day, good crowd. This is good enough baseball weather.
Definitely. Very nice crowd here on hand at Haymarket Park. A lot more people than you'd expect in this kind of chilly weather. It's spring break here at Lincoln, Nebraska. Students off yesterday, their first full day off, as the 2-0 count is low and outside to make it 3-0 to Dayton Dugas. Dugas has not seen a pitch that he likes yet. Dugas he's a freshman. He bats .286 on the year. Has knocked in 6 RBIs for the Shockers. He plays right field. And the 3-0 is outside again, and he walked him. That's his 5th walk of the season. Matt Waldron's 5th walk. And that's Dugas' 5th walk of the season. So he's on base. The first 2 men are on base for the Shockers. Nobody out, second and first. And Matt Waldron is in a little bit of a jam again here, Josh.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously not the situation you want to get into if you're a pitcher, but you saw he's got the stuff to get out of it. Now, the problem he's had in the past, in his first start against Long Beach State this year, he was cruising along, and then you have that inning where you allow a couple guys to get hits, maybe walk a guy here, and that's when things, kind of start to snowball, like I said earlier, and get you into trouble. So this is a big situation. Important to see if he can maybe get a ground ball double play here.
In steps the left fielder, Josh DeBacher. And the first offering he sees is just catches the outside corner. A little bit high, but it catches the outside. It's 0-1. Josh DeBacher, freshman again. Very freshman-heavy team down the lineup here for Wichita State. They start 5 today, including the starting pitcher, Clayton McGinnis. DeBacher bats .263 on the year and has knocked in 4 RBIs. Only 3 starts this year. He's only played in 14 games. This is his 4th career start for the Shockers. As DeBacher looks to bunt, but he pulls it back, but he goes in for a strike anyway. It's 0-2. Looking to maybe advance the runners there. Not a bad idea. Looking to advance Janista and Dugas to make a second and third situation with 1 out, trying to advance the runners there.
Yeah, just trying to move the runners over, get some runs on the board here, already trailing 2-0, and you see Ravelis really trying to keep the runners close there at second, just dancing behind Janista.
Josh DeBacher, the left-handed hitter, sees the right-handed thrower, Matt Waldron, and his 0-2 pitch is outside, looking to make him chase a little bit there. DeBacher doesn't bite. It's 1-2. 2-0 Huskers here. Top of the second inning, Nebraska grabbed 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning off a Jake Plotchik solo home run and a Jake Myers triple that drove in Scott Schreiber. So that's how the Huskers have their 2 runs today. Nebraska won 4-0 yesterday and lost 17-5 on Friday, so the series is even at 1-1 right now. This being the series decider. This, the 9th game of a 9-game homestand, and the longest homestand of the year for the Huskers before they go on the road this week to face Indiana State on the road before opening up Big Ten play at Purdue. So this is a very important game for the Huskers to gain some momentum. The 1-2 from Waldron is just fouled back to the screen. Great job by DeBacher to hang in there and force a 1-2 again.
And Waldron, he's kind of attacking now. This is what you want if you're Darren Erstad. He's attacking the strike zone. Now in this situation, a 1-2 count, he's kind of able to throw his pitch. He can work down in the zone, try to induce that double play ball. This is a good situation for Waldron.
The 1-2, we'll do it again here. 2 men on base, nobody out. Low and inside. Taylor Fish had to slide to his right to get that one. Kind of near on the heels towards DeBacher. It's 2-2.
You know what? That's where it's good. You can have faith in your catcher that he's going to go down and block that pitch, and that you don't have to worry about the runners advancing. And that's what you want as a pitcher, and it's good for Waldron to have that today.
Grayson Janista stands on second. Dayton Dugas stands on first for the Shockers. DeBacher is at the plate. 2-2. Here's the pitch. On the hands. Ground ball to second base. To second for 1. On to first. Double play. Terrific play right there. Schleppenbach to Ravelis to Schreiber. 6, and it's the 4-6-3 double play. 2 gone here in the top of the second. There's a man on third, though. Janista advances to third, but DeBacher grounds into the double play, and there's 2 gone here in the top of the second.
Well, that's kind of how you draw it up. You had the 2 runners on there, and like I said, Waldron able to work ahead, get count in his favor, and throw his pitch. Well, he jammed him there. Got a nice little ground ball. Perfect 4-6-3 there. And now let's see if he can strand the runner at third here.
Trey Vickers, the 9-hole batter. The sophomore stands in against Waldron. That first pitch is way outside. Good play by Fish to get over there and grab it. It's 1-0. Vickers, sophomore, like I said, bats .261, has knocked in 6 RBIs. This is his 14th start of the season for the Shockers. As Janista stands on third, the lone runner out there right now. As the 1-0 from the freshman Waldron. Drops in for strike 1. It's 1-1.
Nice little breaking pitch there. Off speed. Not exactly what you're looking for in 1-0 count. Nice job by Waldron.
Vickers bats .250 with runners in scoring position this year. This is 47th at bat of the season for Trey Vickers, the sophomore. The 1-1 from Matt Waldron from Omaha, Nebraska, Westside High School, is swung on and missed from Vickers. It's 1-2. And Waldron here 1 pitch away from getting out of yet another jam here, Josh.
Yeah, he's been living dangerously here in the first 2 innings, but boy, he's got the stuff to get out of it. Like I said early on, he's been able to work out of a jam thus far, just 1 strike away from doing it again.
Slow clap begins from the Husker faithful as the 1-2. Waldron still on the stretch here. The right-handed hitter, Trey Vickers, stands in there facing Waldron. Here's his 1-2. High. Straight down the middle, but very high. Taylor Fish had to go up and grab it. It's 2-2. Down on third base, Janista looked ready to run there if that one went behind him all the way to the backstop. Standing on deck, though, is Tanner Kirk, who got on base last time. So this is definitely somebody that Waldron wants to get out here. Face the top of the order next inning, and rather not right now. 2-2 count. Waldron looking for the count.
Vickers has struck out 9 times on the season. Waldron, a pretty decent strikeout pitcher. He's already got 1 today.
As Vickers steps out, looking to throw off Waldron maybe a little bit. Waldron spending a lot of time staring into the glove of Taylor Fish, trying to throw off these batters. And now he comes set. The 2-2 from Matt Waldron. Foul left to the right side. It will get into the right field berm down there. And it's out of play. No Huskers moved for it. Very out of play right away. We'll do 2-2 again.
Nice souvenir for the kids over there.
Absolutely. Matt Waldron. This is his 3rd start of the season, his 5th appearance. Going into today, pitched 19 in the 3rd innings, 18 hits, 10 runs, 8 of those earned, and only 4 walks, but he's already walked a man here. As the 2-2 to Trey Vickers again. Swung on to straight, and a diving play by Scott Schreiber. Hammered. It would have gone definitely down the line into right field, and it would have been at least a run, maybe a double or a triple. Would have definitely meant a shocker run. But a diving play by Scott Schreiber ends the top of the 2nd inning. Huskers hang on to a 2-0 lead here. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Huskers lead the Shockers 2-0. You're listening to Nebraska Baseball on 90.3 KRMU. Here at Haymarket Park and Hawks Field, where Nebraska leads the Shockers 2-0. Zach Pennis alongside Josh Skluzacek here on a beautiful sunny day. It's a little bit chilly here at Haymarket Park, but it is sunny. The sun is shining, unlike yesterday. And this series has been split 1-1 through the first 2 days, and this is game 3. And Wichita State pitcher Clayton McGinnis, the freshman, gave up 2 runs in the bottom of the 1st inning, and now for the Huskers steps in Louis Alvarado, who has batted .237 on the year. He's a sophomore and knocked in 4 RBIs.
And McGinnis so far this year has struggled with stamina, so see how he holds up here as you get a little bit later into the game. Still early on, but see See how he rebounds after that. A little bit of a rough first inning.
Definitely want to keep an eye on that pitch count here today, as this first pitch is high and outside and a 1-0. And the second pitch here to Alvarado was fouled back way over the screen and out of the stadium to make it 1-1. Alvarado has 7 runs scored, like I said, 4 RBIs, 9 hits on the year, 5 walks, and 2 stolen bases. Alvarado's faces the 1-1. He fouls it back, nearly identical placement as he fouls it back out of the stadium once again, and it's 1-2. Very important for McGinnis here to get on top of the Huskers quick.
Yeah, you want to stamp out anything early after that first inning.
His 1-2 is low and inside, so it's 2-2. Way to lay off there by Alvarado. Troutwine, a good play. The catcher for the Shockers to go over there, to slide to his left and block that pitch. As the 2-2 is hammered into right field, a base hit. Alvarado will reach first base. Just gets past the glove of first baseman Janista. And the Huskers have a leadoff man, Louis Alvarado. The left fielder reaches first base, and up steps Jake Schleppenbach, number 6, the second baseman. Left-handed hitter, so he'll face Clayton McGinnis here. Tough go right there for McGinnis. Gets in front, and it gets ahead of Alvarado, but then ends up giving another hit.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like Janista was going to be able to field that one. It looked like he was a little delayed. I don't know if he missed it initially or what, but his dive was a little delayed, and it was just able to sneak by him.
Louis Alvarado is 2 for 2 on stolen bases this season, as he has a lead over there, and the first pitch delivered to Schleppenbach is swung on and missed, 0-1. Jake Schleppenbach, second baseman, bats .190 this year. That's lowest on the team for the Huskers, with 4 RBIs. He has 11 hits on the season. As McGinnis will check on Alvarado over there with a pickoff move to first. Alvarado back in time.
One thing you can say about the Huskers offense this year, with Darren Erstad taking over, they've definitely been a lot more aggressive, trying to steal a lot more bases, maybe hitting runs here and there. Be interesting to see what they do here with Schleppenbach.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Alvarado run. He's on his heels over there, and there he goes, then lays down a bunt, but it's fouled. Schleppenbach lays down a bunt. It was a hit and run. And I think that if there wouldn't have even been a bunt there, Josh, I think Alvarado's there standing up.
Yeah, he got a pretty good jump, that's for sure. And I think Schleppenbach knew it. He laid down foul and immediately was turning around, kind of like, what did I do? So, yeah, probably should have let that one go, but now you're here in an 0-2 hole. You got to just put it in play, make something out of nothing, but you don't want to hit into that double play.
0-2 to Jake Schleppenbach, the second baseman from Clayton McGinnis, the freshman right-hander from Wichita. He'll check on Alvarado once more after seeing him run on the last pitch. Alvarado has to dive back to get in this time. Still an 0-2 count. He's checked on Alvarado twice here. McGinnis is clearly bothered by him over there. Alvarado, as we know, can run 100% on stolen bases this year, 2 for 2. And here is the 0-2 pitch, high and outside to Schleppenbach, 1-2. Schleppenbach stays alive here.
Yeah, not really a pitch you'd want to chase as a batter. Maybe he's trying to bring that down a little bit and just lost the handle on it, but pretty easy for Schleppenbach to lay off that one.
Clayton McGinnis not up to a good start here today. It's 2-0 Huskers in the top of the second with nobody out. Schleppenbach at the plate as McGinnis will check on Alvarado once more at first. Another pickoff move. That's the third of this at-bat.
And just even the fact that the Huskers have been more aggressive on the base paths this year, that can get in your head as a pitcher, and it looks like McGinnis really trying to keep a close eye on him over there. Might be in his head.
The 1-2 to Schleppenbach is swung on and missed. And he's down on strikes. That's Schleppenbach's 12th strikeout of the season. And that's Clayton McGinnis' 13th K on the mound this year. So down goes Schleppenbach, 1 gone in the first. Alvarado stays on first base. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Huskers lead 2-0. Steven Reveles, the shortstop for the Huskers, the senior, will step in. He bats .241 with 2 home runs this year, 5 RBIs, 4 runs scored. Has 13 hits. And the first pitch is hammered into right center. That's curling away, and that might get down, except it will be caught. The wind really knocked that down. It seemed like he got a much better hit on that, Reveles. Alvarado had a very quick jump off of first base, but he'll run back to first, and he's in time. 2 gone here in the bottom of the second, and we're back to the top of the order here. Ryan Bolt, the center fielder, batting left-handed batter will step in for the Huskers.
Yeah, boy, that ball sure had some tail on it, didn't it, Zach? It was.
Oh yeah.
Looked like it was going to get over in the gap there in right center, and it just hung up and curled right over for the right fielder. I don't think McGinnis will mind.
Ryan Bolt flew out to deep right center field his last time up. That was in the top of the first. Looked like it might have been out of here when it came off the bat. The opening pitch from McGinnis is high, but it will be in there for a strike. And a few moans and groans from the Husker faithful here. An 0-1 count. Ryan Bolt in this series is batting .250 with 2 hits, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. The 0-1 is fouled off of his ankle. That hurts. But Ryan Bolt stands up, shakes it off a little bit. He will be okay. But he faces an 0-2 count. Alvarado still on first base over there for the Huskers.
Yeah, it might have stung a little bit too on his hands. He might have got it just in that spot on the bat. He kind of looked down in his left hand, shook it off a little bit. Ryan Bolt kind of step it off there, work out that ankle before he gets back in the box.
Ryan Bolt bats .311 on the year, has 9 RBIs this season, 23 hits as the leadoff man, and he's been the leadoff man, I believe, all season for the Huskers. Number 21, the center fielder Bolt, steps in, facing the right-handed pitcher, Clayton McGinnis, the freshman. And McGinnis will check on Alvarado again. Alvarado has really toned down whether he looks like he's going to steal or not here. But McGinnis still worried about him over there. An 0-2 count, 2 gone here in the bottom of the second inning. Huskers lead at 2-0. Here's the 0-2 count to Bolt. Bolt swung on and missed, and he goes down swinging in the bottom of the second. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on base. Huskers lead the Shockers 2-0 going to the top of the third inning. You're listening to Nebraska Baseball on 90.3 KRNU. Here at Haymarket Park and Hawks Field, where Nebraska is in Game 3 of a 3-game series against the Wichita State Shockers. The series is tied at 1 apiece, but the Huskers have an early lead here. It's 2-0 Nebraska. Both runs came in the bottom of the first inning for Nebraska. A Jake Plachek solo home run, and then a Jake Myers triple to deep left center field that scored Scott Schreiber. And that's been all the action here so far. Josh Skluzacek, who is joining me today.
Yeah, and the pitchers, they've been getting roughed up a little bit. You've seen some sharply hit balls here. And you talked about last inning, the wind kind of helped out Wichita State a little bit there, kind of hung a ball up. But other than that, I mean, the pitchers are getting hit. They're just doing a nice job of working out of some trouble early on, living dangerously, both of them. But
especially Matt Waldron there, Josh. I mean, without a doubt, he's had 2 men on base in the first 2 innings of work here, but he's gotten out of 2 jams to get this game started as he faces the top of the order here, Tanner Kirk, for the Shockers. The first pitch from Waldron is low and away. Tanner Kirk in this series is batting .444. That's the best out of anyone in this series, with 4 hits, 5 RBIs in the first 2 games for Tanner Kirk. As the 1-0 is low again from Waldron. It's 2-0 here. 2 quick balls to get this started. In his last at-bat, Tanner Kirk grounded out to the pitcher, Matt Waldron, for the first out of the game. And the first pitch of the game is what that was. The third offering from Waldron, right down the pipe, no swing from Kirk, and it's 2-1. Tanner Kirk today just has only seen 1 pitch before this at-bat. The 2-1 is popped high, and it will get out of play and will just fall into the Husker bullpen deep down the left side. As Alvarado moved over to see if he could have a play on it, but it's well into the Husker bullpen. It's 2-2. Tanner Kirk, the senior, second baseman, number 2 on his jersey, bats .339, has 19 hits and 56 at-bats, has started 17 out of 18 games for the Shockers this season. Has 9 RBIs on the year. Leads the team in doubles with 6. Here's the 2-2. And it just outside as the Husker faithful appeal to the umpire, home umpire Tim Cordell, but he won't have it. It's 3-2. It's a full count.
There was a few extra umpires in the stands.
3-2 is going to be fouled off to the right side. A few Huskers are going to move over, but it looks like it will get out of play just into the right field berm. And a few more souvenirs over there. All Schreiber, Schleppenbach, and Jake Myers all moved over looking to make a play there, but it just gets out of play right there. Umpires today, Tim Cordell's behind home plate, Jason Harstick at first base, and Carlos Martinez stands at third. That's your three-man umpiring crew here today at Haymarket Park. Huskers lead at 2-0. Top of the third inning here. It's a 3-2 count for Waldron. He faces the leadoff man for the Shockers, Tanner Kirk, who is 0 for 1 today. Here's the 3-2, and that one's fouled back again. We'll keep doing it. As Tanner Kirk fights off yet another pitch. Very good at bat here by Kirk, Josh.
Yeah, making him work for it, that's for sure. And Waldron, if he can get this first out, try to make it a little bit easier on himself. Talked about how it's been a bit of a struggle the first 2 innings. He's been able to work out of it, but make his life a little easier.
The 3-2 is fouled back again. Terrific battle by Tanner Kirk here, the second baseman from Wichita State. Tanner Kirk, like I said, bats .339 this year. Has already hit 2 doubles in this series out of his 4 hits. Has 1 run scored. Here's the 3-2 again. That's hammered to left field. Back goes Alvarado, but it will fall and go right into his glove for the out. 1 away here in the top of the third. A terrific battle right there between Kirk and Waldron. But Waldron wins, and there's 1 away in the third.
Yeah, it's always fun to see who's going to have the edge when you have a long at-bat like that. And give credit to Waldron. That's not always easy. You keep throwing those pitches up there, and the batter keeps falling them off. It can get frustrating, but a nice job by Waldron, just a freshman, hanging in there, working, still delivering good pitches, and able to get the first out.
The Shockers are making Waldron work for it today. There's no doubt about that. As Mikael Muka steps in for Wichita State. Muka, the center fielder, bats left. Reached base today. He's 1 for 1. He had a single into left field earlier in the first inning. The 1-0 count is down the middle. It's 1-1 for a strike. Waldron, the freshman pitcher, 3.72 ERA. And here's his 1-1 pitch. And that's going to be fouled back to the screen, 1-2 to Mikael Muka.
Really top 3 batters for Wichita State, all seniors, really experienced up there. And one thing they do a nice job of, we've seen, is just following pitches away, keep fighting. They don't go down easy. So see if Waldron can get him here again.
The pitch count for Waldron's already up. It can eclipse 40 here as the 1-2 count. And the pitch is low and inside to make it 2-2. Waldron's pitch count is already getting high there, Josh. He's already into the 40s. He's only gotten 7 outs in this game.
Yeah, Wichita State definitely made him work for it, and those early hits didn't help.
Muka, the 2-2 pitch is hammered into left, but it will reach the left field berm. It was hit high, and Alvarado moved over, but there is no play on the ball. It's out of play into the stands. So we'll do it again. It's 2-2 here. Mikael Muka, batting second in the order, wears number 8. He's a center fielder. Bats left, throws right. And here's the 2-2 from the freshman Matt Waldron from Omaha, Nebraska, as he'll step off the mound here. A little more throwing off the time. The Shockers have been doing that a lot. That's the 3rd time that a Shocker batter has done that to Matt Waldron, forcing him to step off. Waldron's 2-2 is low and inside. Good play there by Taylor Fish, digging that ball out of the dirt. It's a full count yet again. 2 batters, 2 full counts here, Josh.
Yeah, and I mean, as you talked about, Waldron's pitch count already up there. This doesn't help. I mean, sometimes you want to try find that perfect pitch to strike him out. Just got to keep attacking. Have faith in your outfielders. They'll make plays.
Here's the 3-2, and it's hit to a ground ball to the first baseman, Schreiber. Easy play for him, and there's 2 gone in the top of the 3rd. Waldron has faced 2 batters. Both have sent it to a full count, but Waldron has won both of those battles, and there's 2 away here in the top of the 3rd, and the 2-0 Husker lead is being held currently as Ryan Tinkham will step in for the Shockers.
See if he can send down Tinkham, get his first 1-2-3 inning of the day.
Tinkham, a senior, is 1 for 1 today as the first pitch is in there for a strike. Tinkham, just like Muka, had a single to left field in the first inning. The 0-1 is in the dirt, 1-1. Another good stop by Taylor Fish. He's had a few of those down there today. Taylor Fish, the senior catcher for the Huskers. Always been a terrific catcher back there. The 1-1, way outside. Taylor Fish over there to catch it. It's 2-1. Tinkham has yet to swing on this at-bat. In the series, Tinkham is batting .375, has 3 hits, 2 runs scored, and 2 RBIs. This is the third game of a 3-game series. The 2-1 is swung on and missed. A changeup here really threw off Tinkham, sent him way early, and Matt Waldron has him at 2-2.
Yeah, right over the top of that one, way ahead as you mentioned. Really good off-speed pitch there from Waldron. See if he goes back to it or goes with something harder here.
The 2-2 from Matt Waldron to Tinkham is swung on and ground ball to third base. Diving play by Plotchik, but he drops it onto first, and it is not in time. Schreiber thought it was in time. A bobbled ground ball by Plotchik. Plotchik made a great play on the ball, diving to his left. Picked it up, but apparently lost the ball somewhere in the process. And his throw to Schreiber was not in time. So Tinkham reaches first base safely, and that will bring up Gunnar Troutwine for the Shockers.
Yeah, close, very close play at first, and Schreiber, as you mentioned, thought he had him, but he skipped it to him a little bit. Nice job by Schreiber to hang with it, make sure he doesn't advance to second.
So that's the first Wichita State base runner of the inning, of the top of the third, and in steps Troutwine. His opening offering is high and outside.
So now for Waldron, you know, he thought he had got out of the inning, gets the extra out here. So gonna have to fight and work through this, try to get the 4th out of the inning.
Troutwine is 0 for 1 today. He struck out in the first. And this pitch is sent into left field. In comes Alvarado for the play, and he makes the catch, sending Troutwine back to the bench.
Nicely done.
And it's 2-0 Huskers as we head to the bottom of the third inning. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 man left on base for Wichita State. We head to the bottom of the third inning now. It's 2-0 Nebraska. You're listening to Nebraska Baseball on 90.3 KRNU. Here at Haymarket Park in Hawks Field for Nebraska leads the Wichita State Shockers 2-0. Zach Penrice alongside Josh Skluzacek here. And Josh, it's just been the first inning so far for Nebraska. It was just a solo shot by Jake Plotchik and a triple by Jake Myers. And now Nebraska back to the top of the order here. And Ryan Bolt got out last inning, but we're at the second man, Jake Plotchik, right now.
Yeah, but you know what? It was a nice top of the inning for Matt Waldron on the mound. Got his first really quick inning of the day, and now you're turning it back over. It's kind of like he's turning it back over to McGinnis, saying, all right, I got my quick inning. Let's see what you can do now. And the Huskers have been hitting McGinnis pretty sharply early on. You know, they had some unfortunate ones, just missed a couple balls that hung up there for the outfielders, but they've still been hitting them pretty well. So I think if you're Darren Erstad and the Huskers, you got to be pretty confident here when you got guys like Plotchik, Miller, and Schreiber coming up. I mean, these are the guys that can hit for you.
Like you said, Jake Plotchik will lead things off, followed by Ben Miller and Scott Schreiber are the 3 due up for the Huskers. Of course, Jake Plotchik, his last time up, the first pitch was hit over the wall for a solo home run that gave the Huskers a 1-0 lead, which is now extended to 2-0. And the first offering from Clayton McGinnis in the bottom of the third is a ball low, kind of dropped out there, and it's a 1-0 count. Nice by Plotchik to let off there. Jake Plotchik, the third baseman for the Huskers. He's a senior. He bats .255, has 3 home runs on the year, and 9 RBIs. The second pitch is outside. Plotchik watches it go by again. 2-0. Jake Plotchik batting here in the 2-hole, where he is today. The 2-0 count is hit down the left field line. That's going to get down for a base hit. And Plotchik will head to second. He's moving. This will be a close play at second base. Plotchik slides in, and he is safe. He's in there. A terrific slide under the glove of Kirk. Tanner Kirk cannot get the glove down in time. A good throw there by Josh DeBacher from left field. But Plotchik uses his speed to get to second in time.
Yeah, and he came out of the box looking for 2 right away. He had his sights set on it right from the get-go. He came out running hard, took a big turn, and I mean, DeBacher, he got to the ball pretty quick, took a good route and a good strong throw to the base, but give Plotchik credit. That hustle right from the get-go helped him get there, and he needed every ounce of it. He was close.
So in steps Ben Miller. He's a junior left-handed batter facing the right-handed throwing Clayton McGinnis. The first pitch is hammered deep right field, right center. except that'll drop into a hole. It's in for a hole. In between the right fielder, center fielder, and second baseman, falls between Dugas, Kirk, and Muka. The wind again really knocked that one down quickly, but Ben Miller is at first, safe. Plotchek advances to third. There's nobody out. Runners at the corners in the bottom of the third. Huskers threatening again.
Yeah, it didn't look like Miller got that one entirely. Just kind of lofted it up there in shallow right center, and the second baseman was the closest one to it, trying to look over his shoulder and haul it in. Just couldn't quite haul it in, and yeah, here you go. Another threat for the Huskers. They'll give them a mound visit as Wichita State scrambles to get somebody warming up there in that bullpen.
There is action in the Wichita State Shocker bullpen as there is a mound visit right now, which involves Gunnar Troutwine, the catcher, Clayton McGinnis, and the pitching coach for the Shockers.
Lefty Cody Tyler warming up for the Shockers over there in the bullpen. Only one up for the Shockers.
Cody Tyler has no appearances in this series so far. We'll get some numbers on him if he does end up coming into this game. But right now, McGinnis in a very difficult situation right now as Scott Schreiber steps to the plate. He was hit by a pitch the last time he was up. And after he got to first, it was Jake Myers, who stands in the on-deck circle, who had that triple in the first inning to give the Huskers a 2-0 lead.
We kind of mentioned with McGinnis, kind of similar with Waldron this season when he's gotten a couple guys on. This is when he struggled. So see if Huskers can take advantage of him here.
The first pitch from McGinnis to Schreiber is called strike. They appeal to the first base umpire, Jason Harstick, and he said that Schreiber went around. It was a check swing, but apparently Schreiber went around there. It's an 0-1 count.
I don't know about that. He heard the fans not too happy. Might have an argument there.
McGinnis, the freshman pitcher, comes set. Here's the 0-1. And it's a ball. It's low. Dropped by catcher Gunnar Troutwine, but he recovers. All the runners stay. Ben Miller at first. Jake Plotchek at third.
McGinnis taking a lot more time in between pitches now, too.
McGinnis really trying to slow things down, throw the Huskers off of their rhythm here. Scott Schreiber, the first baseman, sophomore, bats .322, and the 1-1 count is in there for a strike, but again, Gunnar Troutwine can't squeeze it, and it's off to the side, but all the runners stay there again. Ben Miller looking to maybe move down at first, but he ends up staying there. Runners at the corners at the 1-2 count.
Got to be careful here with Schreiber. He's been really hot of late.
Scott Schreiber stands in there. It's a 1-2 count, and he sees it. And a check swing again. That time he did hold up, according to Jason Harstick. Tim Gordo will not make the call himself. Appeals to the first base umpire, who says that Scott Schreiber held up. It's a 2-2 count. Runners at the corners here for Nebraska. Bottom of the third, it's 2-0 Huskers, after a Jake Plotchek home run and a Jake Myers triple that brought in Scott Schreiber in the first inning. The 2-2 is in the dirt, and it's a full count now. Interesting to see here if Ben Miller will run on the pitch. Maybe the Huskers will be aggressive and do a little bit of a hit-and-run situation here. Nobody out, though. Not much of a reason to be aggressive. Just looking to maybe extend your lead and perhaps blow this thing open, considering the batters that are coming up here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I personally wouldn't. All these pitches have been in the dirt. Really trying to work that bottom half of the zone right at the knees.
The 3-2 is in the dirt yet again. And Schreiber won't chase. And you know what that means? The bases are juiced. And up comes Jake Myers, who tripled his last time up, which brought in Scott Schreiber. So Jake Myers is 1 for 1 today with a triple. The bases are loaded, and there is nobody out. Here in the bottom of the third, Huskers looking to perhaps blow this game wide open and put Clayton McGinnis to a short outing here, the freshman. And he'll get another mound visit, and that might be it for Clayton McGinnis.
Looks like Cody Tyler's going to be coming in. He was looking over the wall, seeing if it was his time or not. Gets the call. So, yeah, and you could tell McGinnis out there, this last at-bat, he's kind of walking around, taking his time in between pitches. And you wonder if that first mound visit they said, you know, get this guy, otherwise you're out. Well, Schreiber not an easy guy to get out, and a tough situation there for McGinnis. You wonder how much he had left in the tank anyway. He struggled a bit with stamina this year, but Wichita State electing to go with redshirt sophomore Cody Tyler.
Cody Tyler will be coming in for the Wichita State Shockers here, and that'll be it for Clayton McGinnis, the freshman. Cody Tyler this year has a 4.61 ERA and an 0-1 record, but 7 appearances. Has pitched 13 2/3 innings, has given up 8 hits and 10 runs, 7 of those earned, 13 walks, 14 strikeouts, but has a very good opposing batting average here, Josh, a .174 opposing batting average. So he's a redshirt sophomore from Terrell, Texas, and he's a left-handed pitcher, so the Huskers are being switched here from a right-handed pitcher to a left-handed pitcher, so a very early pitching change here for the Shockers, but it makes a lot of sense right now.
Yeah, absolutely. They just need to get some guys out. I mean, in the situation, still nobody out for the Huskers. You got the bases loaded. And granted, they've made it a little bit down into the more bottom half of the lineup. Myers, number 5 hitter, still definitely a really solid batter for the Huskers, but after that it drops off a little bit. So this is where you need to get your guys out. If you're Wichita State, you don't want this thing to get blown out of the water too early here.
Jake Myers looking to potentially blow this game wide open for the Huskers. It's 2-0 here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Jake Plotchik reached second base on a double to open up the 3rd. So he has now a home run and a double. He's 2 for 2 on the day. Ben Miller then had a little blooper into right center, shallow right center, that fell in between Kirk, the second baseman, Muka, the center, and Dugas, the right fielder. Just kind of dropped in between all 3 of them to put the runners on the corners on 1st and 3rd with nobody out. Then up steps Scott Schreiber, who got walked after looking the count to go to full, after the count went to full, and Scott Schreiber watched ball 4 in the dirt to reach first base, and that was the day for Clayton McGinnis, the freshman, who has a 6.14 ERA and is lined up currently for the loss, and every runner on base is his. So if any of those guys score, that will be another run attributed to him. As we are ready to play ball again, Cody Tyler for Wichita State. Left-handed pitcher, 6 foot, 175 pounds, from Terrell, Texas. So redshirt sophomore looks into Jake Myers, the right-handed batter. The bases are loaded here with nobody out in the 3rd.
Myers has been particularly good this year with the runners on as well. Starting with something a little slower.
It's a slow pitch, kind of a change up here, and it's 0-1. Goes right down the middle. Jake Myers batting .312 with runners in scoring position. An 0-1 count here. Bases still loaded. Bottom of the 3rd inning, 2-0 Huskers. Tyler's second offering is hammered down the left field line, and that might get down there, but it is caught by DeBacher. Tagging up is Plotchik. He will score. It's 3-0 Nebraska. Jake Myers, his second RBI of the day. Really thought that one had a chance to get down and perhaps do a lot of damage, but DeBacher moves over. Josh DeBacher, the left fielder, makes a nice play, kind of a low catch there. And it's 2nd and 3rd now. That brought in Jake Plotchik, 3-0 Nebraska. Up comes Taylor Fish for Nebraska.
Yeah, another line drive off the bat of Myers, and that one just hanging up enough for DeBacher to get over there. Didn't quite hit it as much down the line as he probably would have wanted either, but he'll settle for the sac fly and RBI, I think.
Taylor Fish up at the plate. 2-man on for Nebraska. As the first offering is hit into right field, over for the play is Dugas. He'll make the catch, and it's 1 pitch and 1 out. Cody Tyler doing an excellent job coming in and getting 2 very quick outs, doing everything he can to shut down the Huskers here.
Yeah, you can't be put in a worse situation coming out of the bullpen. Bases loaded, nobody out. And he's done his job. He's come out, and you mentioned people not hitting very high average-wise against him. And this is exactly what Wichita State needed. Let's see if Alvarado can maybe give the Huskers a little bit more insurance here, though.
In steps Louis Alvarado. He's 1 for 1 today with a single. Ben Miller on second, excuse me. Scott Schreiber stands on first base as the first pitch to Alvarado was in there for a strike. He watched it go by. It's 0-1. Cody Tyler doing a terrific job thus far. Has only thrown 4 pitches and already has 2 outs in this inning and has only allowed 1 run.
That's some good movement on that slider there for strike 1. Can see why he's pretty tough to hit.
Really froze Louis Alvarado there. An 0-1 count. Here comes the pitch, and it's in there, low, but it just catches the corner on the inside part of the plate to Luis Alvarado, and it's 0-2. Cody Tyler making very quick work of the Huskers here in the bottom of the third ever since he's come into this game for Clayton McGinnis. The 0-2 count. Popped up center field. This might be trouble, and it will drop in for a hit. In comes around third and heading for home is Ben Miller. He's there. The ball gets by the catcher Troutwine. In comes to score is Schreiber. 2-run score for Nebraska. Colorado reaches second on the error. And it's 5-0 Nebraska. Both Ben Miller scores from second and Schreiber scores all the way from first on a little blooper into center. Fell in between Muka, Vickers, and Kirk. And it's 5-0 Nebraska.
And you know, Miller can run a little bit for his size. He's a big guy, but he can still move on the base paths. But that was close. It looked like Wichita State was going to have a chance to throw him out. Muka, a pretty good throw, but it was a little offline down the third base line, and it pulled the catcher Troutwine away. And then when it skipped, there was nobody at the plate for Tyler, who was backing him up to throw to, and that allows the second run for the Huskers to score.
The first offering to Jake Schleppenbach here, the left-handed batter facing the left-handed pitcher Cody Tyler is outside and low, ball 1. What a crazy play right there, Josh. Muka's throw gets by the catcher Troutwine. Tyler's not there to back it up. The pitcher, and the second run, Schreiber comes in and scores as that pitch by Schleppenbach is hit into left field. Around third and heading for home is Louis Alvarado, the cutoff man, and he will slide in there, and he's in time. It's 6-0. Schleppenbach drives in Alvarado from second base. Alvarado uses the wheels, and DeBacher's throw is not in time. It's 6-0 Nebraska. Huskers really blowing this thing open in the third. That's their 4th run of the inning, and they're in the lower part of the order, Josh, where we wouldn't think they get a lot of production, but boy, are they getting it.
Yeah, exactly. You and I were talking about how Tyler was just blowing through these guys, and all of a sudden it gets to Alvarado, not a guy you'd expect. He's only got 4 runs batted in on the year. Knocks in a couple there, and all of a sudden Schleppenbach does it, and just like that, it's a 6-0 game. When it looked like Tyler was going to set him down and make it 2-0 still.
Steven Ravelis steps in for the Huskers. Ravelis is 0 for 1 today with a fly out to right field. Jake Schleppenbach, who bats 190, just had an RBI double right there to drive in Luis Alvarado. It's 6-0 Nebraska with 2 outs here in the third. As the 1-0 pitch is high and outside, it's 2-0 to Ravelis. Ryan Bolt in the on-deck circle for Nebraska. He's one of the only Huskers to not really get in on the action today, who's generally one of their best players. Bolt's 0 for 2. Huskers have 4 runs here in the third. And the 1-1 pitch is fouled back, and it will get to the seats just behind the Wichita State dugout, about 4 rows back behind it, to make it 1-2 to Steven Ravelis, the shortstop. The senior who bats .241 on the year. Cody Tyler came into this game in a bases loaded, nobody out jam. Only allowed 1 run before getting 2 outs while throwing 4 pitches. And then a crazy play, which scored 2 more Husker runs, really blew this game open. And now it's 6-0 after a Schleppenbach double scored another run. And Ravelis hits a ground ball to the shortstop Vickers, on to first to Janista, in time. And the inning is over, but the Huskers, 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 1 man left on base. We move to the top of the 4th inning. It's 6-0 Nebraska here at Haymarket Park. You're listening to Nebraska Baseball on 90.3 KRNU. Back here at Haymarket Park in Hawks Field, where Nebraska has just completely blown this game open. We're only 3 innings into this game. It's 6-0 Huskers in this game 3 of 3 in a weekend series with the Wichita State Shockers. I'm Zach Penrice alongside Josh Skluzacek here. And Josh, what happened in that last inning? The Shockers, they pull their freshman pitcher Clayton McGinnis. They bring in Cody Tyler, who pitches very well. He only threw 4 pitches before almost being out of the inning. And then Something crazy happened. Go through it.
Yeah, well, it's not. I mean, if you're looking at it on paper, it's not what you expect because you talked about opposing hitters not hitting well against him, and he cruises through the first two guys, and he looks like he's going to preserve a 2-0 lead. Well, sac fly from Schleppenbach, Plachik would have been 3-0, and then it looks like he's on his way to doing a masterful job and working out of just an awful situation. 2 outs, people only hit, less than 100 against him, .091 against him. And here's Luis Alvarado, not somebody you expect. 4 runs batted in on the year, just a .237 hitter, not bad, not great. He lines one in for a 2-run double, and all of a sudden, okay, it's 5-0 Huskers. Schleppenbach comes up, he keeps it rolling. The Huskers, not a great 2-out hitting team normally. Cody Tyler, a very good pitcher, particularly with 2 outs. So it was fun to see for the Huskers. Not something you'd expect at all, but able to kind of blow that game open a little bit here.
Completely out of nowhere that last inning. It's 6-0 Nebraska as Luke Ritter steps in for the Wichita State Shockers, looking to try and chip at this lead. Waldron's first pitch is in there for a strike. The second pitch, low and outside. It's ball 1, and it's a 1-1 count. Matt Waldron just eclipsed 54 pitches on the day. As the 1-1 is in there for a strike, it's 1-2. Luke Ritter today, 0 for 1 with a ground out to the third baseman. The 1-2 from the freshman Matt Waldron. Outside, kind of a slider tailing away from Luke Ritter. Ritter doesn't bite on it, it's 2-2. Matt Waldron, a 6'2 freshman, 175 pounds from Omaha, Nebraska. 2-1 record on the year in 4 appearances. This is third start. And the 2-2 is in there for a strike. He got Luke Ritter looking. Matt Waldron gets him again.
And sometimes that long wait in between innings can kind of mess with the pitcher a little bit. Well, it doesn't look like it messed with Matt Waldron. Comes right in, starts the 4th with a strikeout. So it's good to see him still rolling.
That's his second strikeout of the day for Matt Waldron. The only starter left in this game, Clayton McGinnis, pulled for the Shockers last inning. As in steps Grayson Janista, the first baseman for the Shockers. The first pitch is right down the middle as Janista watched it just go by. It's 0-1. Waldron kind of getting into a groove here. The 0-1, high, down the middle but high. It's 1-1. Janista 1 for 1 today. A single back in the second inning. The 1-1. A curveball that really froze Janista right there. It's 1-2. Waldron not giving not really a lot of very hittable pitches right now for the Wichita State batters here.
No, he's cruising, and it looks like he's focused, locked in, he's found his groove, and he's throwing some really good pitches right now.
The 1-2 from Waldron. Janista bites on it a little bit, but it's outside to take the count to 2-2. A little bit of a check swing there from Janista, but he lays off of it in time. No need to appeal to the third base umpire, Carlos Martinez. It's a 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled back. That'll get out of play. Kind of behind the screen there, just by the Husker dugout. About 6 rows up, behind, a little bit below us right there. We'll do 2-2 again. Grayson Janista in the series is batting .250. 1 RBI, 2 runs scored, but only 4 at-bats, and he had 1 hit in those 4 at-bats.
And this big lead for the Huskers now can kind of let Waldron just let it fly here, too.
That ball, 2-2 count, is fouled into the upper deck here, over to our left, kind of even with third base. And it's a 2-2 count again. Janista battling here with Matt Waldron. A good battle going on. 2-2 count, 1 away here in the top of the 4th. And it's a changeup, and he throws him, and it's swung on and missed. Janista goes down on strikes. Waldron's 3rd strikeout of the day, his 2nd of the inning. And there's 2 gone here on the top of the 4th.
And he just looks like a completely different pitcher to me. I don't know about you, Zach, but he just looks so confident out there right now. Waldron kind of slamming his glove after that. He's pumped up, and I think that those 4 runs in the bottom of the 3rd kind of padding this lead just gave him so much confidence, and he's really executing his pitches right now.
He has a lot to work with out there, having a 6-run cushion as Dayton Duga steps in for the Shockers, the right fielder. The first pitch is in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Waldron, the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. It's 0-2. Waldron slicing through this Shocker offense right now. Set the first two down on strikes in this inning. And he has Dugan an 0-2 hole here. And here's the 0-2. Just high. Down the middle, but just barely high. It's 1-2. Good pitch there from Waldron, though, looking to make him chase, possibly a little bit high.
He's got such good movement on his pitches, too.
Dayton Dugan, 0 for 0 today with a walk. Here's the 1-2 count as Waldron halfway to the dugout, but it's called low and outside. He thought he ended the corner there. Every Husker on the field there, Josh, moved towards the dugout, but they all moved back to position. They all thought that was a strike.
Yeah, that two-seamer looked like it had some good movement right over the corner, but...
The 2-2, similar placement, a little bit lower, and it's a full count. Waldron had him 0-2. He's fallen behind here. 3 straight balls. It's 3-2.
Yeah, again, he kind of thought he was out of it. Just got to focus in, lock in for that one more strike. Get out of the inning.
Dayton Dugan steps into the box, the right-handed batter against the right-handed Matt Waldron. The 3-2, ground ball to the shortstop. Steven Revelis on to first to Schreiber in time. 3 up, 3 down for the Huskers in the top of the 4th. Their 6-0 lead is held. It's 6-0 Nebraska going to the bottom of the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. And the Huskers maintain their lead at 6-0. You're listening to Nebraska Baseball on 90.3 KRNU. Back here at Haymarket Park in Hawks Field, where Nebraska is on top of Wichita State 6-0 early in this game. Zach Penrice here alongside Josh Skluzacek. And Josh, we saw a Husker explosion last time they were out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. They're now in the bottom of the 4th after a tremendous pitching performance in the top of the 4th by Matt Waldron.
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking about it. Waldron just looked like a completely new pitcher, just commanding his pitches. And the Huskers here now, they're back to the sweet spot of their lineup. So they can keep adding to this lead here if they can get some more runs off of Tyler here.
It's the top of the order for the Huskers here. Ryan Bolt, and the first pitch he sees is down the middle from Cody Tyler at strike 1. It's an 0-1 count. Ryan Bolt 0 for 2 today. The second pitch way outside, and it's 1-1. Ryan Bolt batting left-handed as always, of course. Cody Tyler, the left-handed pitcher, 4.61 ERA. This his 8th appearance of the season. The 1-1 pitch is, and Bolt lifts it high into left field. Over to catch it is DeBucker. He does so. And Ryan Bolt, an uncharacteristic, he's 0 for 3, and that's 1 gone here in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, he hasn't looked himself, but you know, you can deal with that if you're Darren Erstad when the rest of your lineup is coming through, especially guys like Luis Alvarado and Jake Schleppenbach. They're still definitely in a good position. Ryan Bolt, he'll rebound.
Jake Plotchek now steps in. He's the most threatening batter in the lineup for the Huskers today. A home run and a double thus far. The opening offering, a very wicked curveball right there. Drops in straight over the plate. Really froze Plotchek there. It's 0-1.
Tyler's got some really, really good off-speed pitches.
The 0-1 pitch from Tyler. Same exact thing. It's 0-2. He's frozen Plotchek twice here in this at-bat. This time, Cody Tyler gets to face the Huskers with empty bases, and he's a much different pitcher.
Yeah, I mean, that's starting out of the strike zone off the plate, and it ends up middle of the plate down at the knees, and as a hitter, that's rough. There's nothing you can really do about that.
Here's the 0-2 from Tyler. And it's in on the hands of Plotchek, and it's a little bit of a slow looper to the shortstop, and it's caught by the shortstop, Trey Vickers. 2 gone here in the bottom of the 4th. Cody Tyler working fast here, Josh. I mean, he's not taking much time between pitches, kind of standing on the mound. He's really working fast.
Yeah, exactly. He's, nobody on. He's had to work through a bases-loaded situation, comes in, and he's just attacking. He has confidence in his breaking pitches, and as he should. He has some really, really good breaking pitches, and he's sending down the Huskers easily.
Ben Miller steps in for the Huskers. The first pitch, he watches go by for strike 1. Ben Miller today, 1 for 2. He had a single and then an error sent him to second base just last inning. The 0-1 curveball low and outside. It's 1-1. Ben Miller, the junior, bats .388 on the year. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's low and away, and it's 2-1. Cody Tyler. The pace is being kept by him, but he's starting to throw a few balls here. 2-1. He's really sliced through this Husker lineup this inning thus far. It's been a very fast fourth inning so far. The 2-1 pitch. That's in there for a strike. Very nice moving pitches. A lot of movement on these pitches from Cody Tyler. Very easy to see from up here behind home plate.
Might have got a little bit of a favorable call there from the umpire. Looked a little low to me. Miller, I think, thought it was a little bit out. But
the 2-2 is in on the hands of Miller. He flies it to the left fielder, DeBacher.
Wow.
And it makes the catch. A very fast fourth inning. Both teams go down 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors here for the Huskers. We move to the top of the fifth. Nebraska leads Wichita State 6-0. You're listening to Nebraska Baseball on 90.3 KRNU. Back here at Haymarket Park in Hawks Field on the campus of the University of Nebraska. I'm Zach Penrice alongside Josh Skluzacek. And Josh, Nebraska hangs on to a 6-0 lead. The fourth inning, that was the fastest inning of the day. Both teams go down 1-2-3. Both pitchers, Matt Waldron and Cody Tyler, really picking it up for both teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And you could tell when there's nobody on, these guys, and in Waldron's case, he has a nice lead. They're just letting it fly, and they're throwing out their pitches like they know how to, executing them really well. And these guys have some good stuff. Both young pitchers, Waldron just a freshman, Tyler just a redshirt sophomore. But they can throw the ball, and they're just cruising through batters now. Waldron up to 72 pitches, so we'll see how much longer he has. This might be his last inning. But if he's throwing the ball like he did last inning, it's going to be hard for Erstad to pull him.
It's 8-9-1 due up here for Wichita State as the 8-hitter, Josh DeBacher, squares up to bunt. But he pulls it back, but it's in there for a strike anyway. It's 0-1. Matt Waldron. No hesitation right there, seeing DeBacher put down, looking to lay down a bunt. Throws a strike anyway, it's 0-1. DeBacher steps out, trying to throw off Waldron's rhythm maybe a little bit. DeBacher, last time up, grounded into a double play that really hurt the Shockers in the second inning when they were threatening. And the second pitch from Waldron, the 0-1, is in there in the dirt. And that's ball one. Evens the count at 1-1. Josh DeBacher, when leading off this season, is batting .833. An incredible stat right there from Josh DeBacher, who is thriving when he leads off innings. He's down there in the 8-hole, only bats .263 on the year, but bats very well when he leads the inning off. As the 1-1 count is outside for ball two, and it's 2-1 to Josh DeBacher. Here's the 2-1. In there for strike two, evens the count back up at 2 apiece.
Well, you mentioned he hits .833. The Shockers need him to get on base here. They just need something, anything from somebody in their lineup to try to provide a spark for them.
Wichita State really trying to chip away at this lead. Matt Waldron's been shutting them down all day long. And the 2-2 is a ground ball to Scott Schreiber, who bobbles it, and he's not going to get there in time. Waldron went over to cover first, but the throw is late from Schreiber. Off the glove there of Scott Schreiber, and that's an E3. And like you said, that leading off percentage, he's a very good on-base percentage. He has a .444 on-base percentage, and that just increased right there.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you get a hit, a walk, an error. It doesn't matter. You're reaching either way. And that's what Wichita State needed. They got their guy on, and now they got to try to build off of it. So Waldron, see if he can go back to the stretch and continue to set down these Shockers.
Trey Vickers now steps in, who was 0 for 1 today. His last time up, he lined out to the first baseman, Scott Schreiber. As the first pitch right there is in for a ball, and it's 1-0. Pitching to Trey Vickers, the shortstop for the Shockers. Here's the 1-0. Low and away again, it's 2-0. And maybe a little bit rattled here is Matt Waldron. A runner on and nobody out after cutting through the Shocker offense very easily in the fourth, having a little bit of trouble here in the fifth, Josh.
Yeah, that's smart play by the catcher, Taylor Fish. Go out there, try to calm down the freshman pitcher, Waldron. You got to tell him it wasn't your fault. You threw a good pitch. That was an error on Schreiber that last time, the second error for the Huskers today. Waldron is throwing good pitches. He just needs to have confidence in his defense that they'll make plays because he's sending them down otherwise.
Here's the 2-0 pitch from Matt Waldron. And it's in there for a strike. The conference between him and Taylor Fish has worked. The first pitch of the at-bat to Trey Vickers. Vickers definitely taking on that pitch. Very good-looking pitch down the right down the pipe.
And we've seen when runners get on, Waldron tries to kind of hit the corners and be perfect a little bit. He doesn't need to. He's got good stuff. Just attack.
The 2-1 pitch is a ground ball to the shortstop, up to second, on to first, double play.
There it is.
Ravelis to Schleppenbach to Schreiber. Your classic 6-4-3 double play, the second turn double play of the day for Nebraska. Boy, oh boy, did Matt Waldron need that.
And boy, that makes Taylor Fish look pretty good, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Gets down the count 2-0 afterwards. You go out there, have a little chat with them, and up just like that, double play. That's all you need for Matt Waldron. Just attack the strike zone. As you see, he's got the stuff, and entices another double play there.
Back up to the top of the order for the Shockers. It's Tanner Kirk who steps in. And man, Josh, that's the third rally of the day, or what you could call a rally for the Shockers, that has been killed by one swing of the bat that's either led to a double play or a strikeout or something. But the Shockers have been close. They just can't break through.
Yeah, Waldron has just been tough. And Huskers normally, they've made a couple errors today, but normally very sure-handed. And with the nice lead for Waldron, he's got the confidence, and it's going to be tough.
The second pitch was swung on and missed by Kirk. The third pitch right there, low and away for ball 2. It's 2-1. Tanner Kirk is 0 for 2 today. He grounded out to the pitcher in the first, and then in the third, he flew out to left field. The 2-1 is low and away again, and it's 3-1. Matt Waldron a pitch away from having his second walk of the day.
Trying to send down the Lincoln native, Kirk.
Kirk from Lincoln, and that's a ground ball on a 3-1 count to the third baseman, Jake Plotchek, on to first to Schreiber, and it's in time. Great recovery right there by Matt Waldron to get out of this inning, and it's no runs, no hits, 1 error, and no men left on base for the Shockers in the top of the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th now. Huskers lead Wichita State 6-0. You're listening to Nebraska Baseball on 90.3 KRNU.
For University of Nebraska sports coverage all year, stay with 90.3 KRNU Lincoln.
Back here at Haymarket Park in Hawks Field, where Nebraska leads Wichita State 6-0 as we move into the bottom of the 5th. Zach Penrice here alongside Josh Skluzacek, and it's been a very fast game as of late. Both pitchers getting into a little bit of a rhythm. Matt Waldron for the Huskers put up zeros on the board through 5 innings and is pitching a 3-hit shutout right now. Cody Tyler in for relief for the Shockers. His second full inning of work is beginning right now. And in steps for the Huskers, Scott Schreiber, the cleanup man, who is 0 for 0 on the day. He's been hit by a pitch and walked, and with 2 runs scored. So no official at-bats today for Scott Schreiber. And the 0-1 is in there for a strike. And the second pitch is fouled off to the right side. He's into a hole early. It's 0-2.
Yeah.
Cody Tyler has had great stuff in his first few innings of work here.
Yeah, he definitely has, and saw he just mowed through the Huskers lineup last inning. A little bit tougher group here.
The 0-2 to Schreiber. In on the hands, but he fouls it away down the left field line. Foul. We'll do it again. It's 0-2. Scott Schreiber today, like I said, no official at-bats. He's been walked and hit by a pitch. He got hit by a pitch in the first and walked in the third. And the 0-2 hits him. Still no official at-bats. The second time he's been hit today. But he'll take first. Scott Schreiber, the leadoff man, is on for the Huskers, and up steps Jake Myers. And the last time that Schreiber got hit by a pitch, Myers responded with a 2-out triple to left center field, which made the game 2-0 at the time. And since then, the Huskers have added 4 more runs on 7 hits. And it's 6-0 right now with nobody out in the bottom of the 5th. Pretty strange. Big mistake right there by Cody Tyler.
Yeah, well, it's a little weird for Schreiber, isn't it? He hit a couple home runs, started getting a little bit hot at the plate over this homestand, and all of a sudden nobody wants to throw to him, trying to throw that perfect pitch. And sometimes it just gets away for you.
Jake Myers, 2 RBIs today as a pickoff move over there. The pitcher, Cody Tyler, trying to pick off Scott Schreiber. Schreiber back in time. Jake Myers, 1 for 2 today. That triple back in the first and in the third had a sacrifice fly to left, which brought in I believe it was Jake Plotchik at the time. And that pitch from Myers is hammered into left, but it's straight at Josh DeBacker. And there's one gone in the 5th. Jake Myers hitting the ball hard today. Just unfortunately, 2 of the 3 times it's been right at Wichita State defenders.
Yeah, and you know what? He's hitting the ball sharply, though. That's what you want. It'll work itself out if you're hitting the ball sharply and putting it in play. You'll find gaps eventually, but he's got a couple RBIs for it, to show for it today.
Scott Schreiber stands on first base as the runner. Taylor Fish steps in for the Huskers. The first pitch, inside, 1-0. Taylor Fish 0 for 2 today. He grounded out to the second baseman, Kirk, back in the first inning and flew out to right field in the 3rd. The 1-0 is in there on a curveball. Lots of wicked movement on some of these pitches there, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, these are moving a ton. They're starting well off the plate outside, almost into the chalk for the left-handed batter's box, and they're just curling right over the plate.
Lots of break on these pitches, these curveballs from Cody Tyler. The left-handed pitcher, redshirt sophomore from Terrell, Texas, who's in his second complete inning of relief. And the 1-1 pitch to Fish. Fish loops it into left field for a hit.
Ooh.
Trying for third, possibly with Schreiber. He holds up at second. He was pretty much a third of the way towards third base, but thought better of it. He would have been a dead duck at third. He holds up at second. It's first and second with 1 out here. And up steps for the Huskers is Luis Alvarado, who has been the starter of a few rallies already today, Josh. And Nebraska looking to perhaps extend their lead now.
Yeah, we talked about it. Not a guy you really expect to be producing a lot for you offensively. Just a .237 hitter coming into today, but already 2 for 2. Knocked in a run his last time. Another chance here.
Alvarado, ground ball. It's through the glove of Ritter and into left field. Schreiber will hold up at third. A ground ball straight to the third baseman, Luke Ritter, but it goes right through his glove. And they will score that in error right away. E5. They'll get Ritter with the error. That's the second error for the Shockers. Each team now has 2. Bases are loaded again. And up steps Jake Schleppenbach. The last time he was up, he had that looper into center field, which scored 2 runners. That was back in the 3rd inning. Huskers threatening yet again. It's every odd-numbered inning. They're scoring runs, hopefully. They haven't scored yet. 6-0 Nebraska. Bases loaded with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The opening offering is a curveball. Broke right to the catcher, but it stays inside. It's 1-0. Good eyes right there by Schleppenbach. That pitch was coming right at him, but it broke in the last second. Very good curveball by Cody Tyler, the redshirt sophomore, who's in his 3rd inning of relief. He came in the 3rd inning with the bases loaded and nobody out. Got out of that inning. And last inning had a great work. And this now his 2nd full inning of batters faced, as the second pitch is in there for a strike to even up the count at 1-1. Schreiber stands on 3rd. Taylor Fish at 2nd. Luis Alvarado at first base. Jake Schleppenbach is at the plate for the Huskers. 6-0 Nebraska in the bottom of the 5th. 1-1 pitch. Just fouled back. Schleppenbach chased it. It was high and away, but he chased it and fouled it back to the screen to make the count 1-2. Today, Jake Schleppenbach is 1 for 2, struck out in the 2nd, and in the 3rd had that 2 RBI single where he ended up at second base. A wacky play to give the Huskers a very big lead. I believe that was a 6-0 lead at the time, and that's the lead they have now. Bases loaded. Here's the 1-2. Popped up. And that is an infield fly rule. And there's going to be 2 outs here. To the third bit, a foul ball. He popped that one up to the third baseman, Ritter, who redeems himself after the last play with a catch. And there's 2 gone here now. And in steps the 9-hitter, Steven Revelis, the shortstop. Revelis today, 0 for 2. Flew out to right in the 2nd. And grounded out to the shortstop in the 3rd.
See if Tyler can work his way out of a jam here. Wichita State does have Tyler Gibson up in the bullpen.
Be a very big inning to get out of for Cody Tyler. The opening offering. Curveball yet again, and it's in there for a strike 1.
Definitely still throwing the ball well. That curveball, using it a lot. It's got some really good movement. Working for him here.
Cody Tyler, this is his 8th appearance of the season. This is currently 3rd inning of work. The 0-1 pitch is that ball is struck into left field, but over moves DeBucker, who makes the play. And Cody Tyler gets out of yet another jam here in the 5th inning, puts another 0 on the board. Huskers lead stays at 6. It's 6-0 Nebraska. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 3 men left on base for Nebraska in the 5th. 6-0 Nebraska as we move to the top of the 6th. You're listening to Nebraska Baseball on 90.3 KRNU.
This is Alex Gordon, and you're listening to Husker Baseball on 90.3 KRNU.
Back here at Haymarket Park and Hawks Field, where Nebraska and Wichita State are in Game 3 of a 3-game series, the 9th of a 9-game homestand for Nebraska, their longest of the year. And Nebraska is in good shape, leading 6-0 over the Shockers as we are here in the top of the 6th. Freshman pitcher Matt Waldron, currently in his 6th inning of work. He's put 0s up on the board all 5 of his first 5 innings. Zach Penrice here alongside Josh Skluzacek as Waldron delivers a pitch, and it's strike 1 to Mikael Muka. The 2-hitter, Muka. The second pitch is in there for a strike as well. Muka today, 1 for 2. Had a single in the first and grounded out in the 3rd. Here's the 0-2 pitch. High and inside a little bit, and it's 1-2. Waldron really likes to get guys into 0-2 and then trying to make him chase there. He does that a lot.
Yeah, but he's really got some good pitches, mixing his speeds well today, trying for his 4th strikeout.
The 1-2, it is a strikeout, but Fish will have to clean it up. It was in the dirt, on to first to Schreiber in time, and there's 1 gone in the 6th. Waldron, that's his 5th strikeout of the day. His pitch count has hit 90. And there's still nobody up in the bullpen for Nebraska. 1 man up in Wichita State's bullpen. And in steps Ryan Tinkham for the Shockers. The opening pitch, low and away, 1-0. Tinkham today, 1 for 2. Hit a single back in the first. Single into left field, and then he reached third, or in the 3rd inning, he reached on an error. As that ball is chopped to the 3rd baseman, Plotchek on to first to Schreiber in time for the out. 2 gone in the 6th.
Nice play by Plotchek. Not easy to be on the run and throw across your body like that, like he did, but right on target for Schreiber.
Similar play to a little bit of a swing and bunt. Plotchek has to he has to charge hard, kind of barehanded play on to first to Schreiber, and a great play for the 2nd out in the 6th. Waldron, his opening offering to Gunnar Troutwine. It's kind of fouled off the end of the bat there. It looked like it fouled off way to the right side, but they're going to call that a strike. Hit the bat. It's 0-1.
I think Fish and Waldron might have got their signals mixed up a little bit there. I don't think Fish was expecting that.
Gunnar Troutwine is 0 for 2 today. He struck out in the 1st and flew out to left in the 3rd. As the 2nd pitch is fouled back into the upper deck, over to our right behind the Wichita State dugout. It's an 0-2 count. Waldron's got Troutwine on the ropes yet again.
See if he tries to get him to chase again.
Troutwine stands in the offering. He does try to get him to chase again. It's high again. He does that a lot. Fastballs high on an 0-2 count seem to be Waldron's tendency throughout today's game. Waldron still has Troutwine on a 1-2 count. Still a pitcher's count. 2 gone here in the 6th. Here's the pitch. It's in there. He got him looking. Strike 3 called. That's Waldron's 5th strikeout of the day. Waldron puts another 0 on the board. No runs, no hits, no errors, no men left on base in the top of the 6th for the Shockers. Nebraska leads Wichita State 6-0 as we move to the bottom of the 6th. You're listening to Nebraska Baseball on 90.3 KRNU.
This is Alex Gordon, and you're listening to Husker Baseball on 90.3 KRNU.
Welcome back to Hawks Field at Haymarket Park. Zach Penrice alongside Josh Skluzacek, and we have a pitching change for the Wichita State Shockers now. It's number 26. It is number 26 now on the plate. Tyler Gibson now on the mound for the Shockers. Cody Tyler's day is done. Some good innings right there from Cody Tyler, but now it's Tyler Gibson. He's a right-handed pitcher, 6'4", 185-pound junior from Howell, Oklahoma. He has a 9.00 ERA, an 0-1 record on the year. 3 innings pitched, 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 of those earned, 2 walks and a strikeout, and an opposing batting average of .438. And it's the top of the order up for the Huskers here in the bottom of the 6th.
He's got some talent. Originally committed to Oklahoma. Decided to transfer, get some more playing time, went to a community college, and ended up here at Wichita State. Been a pretty solid addition to the bullpen for the Shockers.
Ryan Bolt 0 for 3 today. He's flown out to right, struck out, and flown out to left. The first pitch he sees from Tyler Gibson is low and inside for ball 1. The 1-0 count is swung on and fouled. That should reach the seats, and it will. Oh, it doesn't. The wind blows it back. A strong gust of wind. Looked like it was going to be 4 or 5 rows up over there. The third baseman for Wichita State, Bohm. They've made a few substitutions in the field. It's Alec Bohm now over there, the freshman from Omaha, Nebraska.
Just missed there. See if Bolt can end his 0 for today. Try and get a leadoff hit here to get things going for the Huskers again.
Ryan Bolt has struggled today, but he bats .458 in the leadoff spot.
Ooh.
And that ball is hammered to right. There is no doubt about it. That one's out of the ballpark. Ryan Bolt absolutely got a hold on that one, and it's 7-0. A solo shot. Tyler Gibson's day is not going the way he thought it would. The first batter he faces, he gets him down to, he has 2 strikes on Ryan Bolt, and then Bolt sends it out of the ballpark. That's over the Wichita State bullpen. That's over all the fences out in right. Oh my goodness, he got a hold on that one.
That's going to be out in the parking lot for somebody to find.
Oh my goodness.
Gibson behind the count 2-1, just tried to sneak a fastball in there, left it right over the plate. Bolt jumped all over it, and now losing control, hits Plachek.
Plachek is hit by the pitch right there, so he'll reach base for the 3rd time today. Plachek had a home run in a double already, but now he's back on first. Up steps Ben Miller. On that home run, Dayton Dugas, the right fielder, as soon as that ball was hit, he did not move a muscle. That's how you knew right away. Ryan Bolt hit that ball. Dugas took maybe 2 steps back, but he was walking. He knew that right away. That was way over his head. My goodness, did Ryan Bolt get a hold on that one. Plachek stands on first. In steps Ben Miller for the Huskers. Ben Miller today, he is 1 for 3. He has a ground out, a single, and a fly out to left.
5 pitches.
The first pitch is in for a strike.
5 pitches into Gibson's day. Wichita State already getting somebody else up in the bullpen.
My goodness, not a good start for Tyler Gibson as he checks on the runner Plachek at first. It's 7-0 Nebraska here in the bottom of the 6th inning on 9 hits, 2 errors for the Huskers. The Huskers scored 2 in the first, 4 in the 3rd, and now 1 in the 6th. The 0-1 pitch from Tyler Gibson to Ben Miller is hit well towards right. That's slicing towards the right fielder Dugas, but he makes the catch. Plachek back to first, 1 gone in the 6th. And up steps, it will be Scott Schreiber, the first baseman, the sophomore, batting .322 on the year. Scott Schreiber, no official at-bats today, Josh. He's been hit by a pitch in the 1st and the 5th, and in between that, he walked in the 3rd. So we'll see if he can get this crazy trend to continue here.
I don't think Gibson will want to leave one over the plate like he did for Bolt.
His first pitch is fouled back over the screen and out of the park. Kind of over to our right, but it goes over the awning in at Haymarket Park here. Sun beginning to completely be out. All the clouds have cleared away. We're about at 46 degrees here, so very full crowd here today in Nebraska. It's a beautiful day in Lincoln. The 0-1 count, and the pitch is in there for called strike 2. Scott Schreiber, talking to the home plate umpire Tim Cordell, thought that was a little bit low and inside, but Cordell disagrees. It's 0-2. Good recovery here by Tyler Gibson right now. One gone here in the bottom of the 6th. Huskers have already put up a run in this inning. It's 7-0. Jake Plotchik stands on first base. Here's the 0-2. Ground ball to third baseman, to Baum, to second for 1, on to first. Double play. Janista squeezes the ball at first base, and Baum to Kirk, to Janista for the double play, and the inning is over, but the Huskers do get one off a Ryan Bolt screamer for a home run. It's 7-0 Nebraska on 1 run, on 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on base. It's 7-0 Nebraska as we move to the top of the 7th inning now. You're listening to Nebraska Baseball on 90.3 KRNU. Back here at Haymarket Park in Hawks Field, Zach Penrose alongside Josh Skluzacek. And Josh, we've seen quite some offense from Nebraska today as they lead 7-0 over Wichita State. Wichita has gone through 3 pitchers, but for Nebraska, out comes freshman Matt Waldron for the 7th inning. He's put up 0s through 6 innings and has only allowed 3 hits.
Yeah, and it's got to be good for Darren Erstad to see the different guys in the lineup producing. It's been a little bit of everybody today, but guys like Luis Alvarado and Jake Schleppenbach making some big impacts today. And it's good to see everybody get involved, but I think you got to really be pleased with what you've seen out of Matt Waldron. A little bit of a rough first 2 innings, but he's able to get out of trouble in both of them, and then it's just been locked down from there, executing his pitches and just flying through these Wichita State batters. He's really, really had a solid day.
A pinch hitter here for Wichita State is Alec Baum, who will check into this game for Luke Ritter. He'll take over at third base, Alec Baum, and his first pitch he sees from Waldron is low and outside, kind of chased away from him. It's 1-0. So Luke Ritter, the freshman, his day is done. The second pitch is in there for strike 1. Alec Baum, he bats .245 on the air, 13 hits and 53 at-bats. 6'5", 240-pound freshman from Omaha, Nebraska, attended Omaha Roncalli High School. As the third pitch, low and away yet again, 2-1. Alec Baum, a little bit more on him, 3 runs scored this year. He's hit 1 dinger, 7 RBIs, 3 walks. Hasn't been hit by a pitch yet and struck out 11 times. The 2-1 pitch is hit through the gap between the shortstop and third baseman. That's a base hit. Alec Baum is aboard here in the top of the 7th, looking for a little bit of life here from Wichita State.
And Waldron, he's up there in pitches, up to 96 pitches now. 97 pitches. He's had to work hard today. Wichita State's made him work. He's gotten in trouble a couple of times, so he might be nearing the end of his line. Huskers getting some guys up there in the bullpen, but see if Waldron can work his way out of trouble here one last time.
Grayson Janista for the Shockers will step in, the left-handed batter. His first pitch, he pops up to the left fielder. Alvarado is over, and he makes the play. Baum will go back to first, 1 gone in the 7th. And yeah, like you said, Josh, for the first time today, there is some movement. Got a little bit of stir going on down the left field line in that Nebraska bullpen. Janista for the Shockers just popped out. Up steps Dayton Dugas. For Wichita State, the right fielder, Dugas today. 0 for 1 on official at-bats. He walked in the 2nd and grounded out to the shortstop in the 4th. His first pitch is fouled back just below us, about 3 rows down from us. Had a foul ball get pretty close to us there, Josh.
Yeah, right out in front of us.
Yeah, you got to reach your hands down there next time. Try to catch that one.
Should have brought my glove.
It's an 0-1 count here to Dayton Dugas for Wichita State, the right fielder. Alec Baum, the pinch hitter, who is now standing on first base, had the leadoff hit here to start off the 7th. And now the count is evened up at 1-1. Matt Waldron has eclipsed 100 pitches on the day, but he stays out there looking to put up yet probably one more 0 on the board. Ground ball to the shortstop. This could be 2. To second for 1. On to first. Not in time. It gets by into the dugout for Wichita State, but there to back it up is Taylor Fish. Great backup by the catcher Fish to run down that line, Josh, and back up that play. And he keeps Dugas at first, but they get the lead runner Baum at second. Nice play there by Ravelis, who had to move to his right and kind of throw across his body to Schleppenbach to make that play.
Yeah, Dugas could move. He was hustling down that line, try to avoid the double play, and it was kind of a tough turn. But yeah, as you mentioned, really nice job of Fish backing that up to make sure Dugas unable to get to second.
Up steps the left fielder, Josh DeBacher. We'll have a pinch hitter here. Josh DeBacher.
Looks like it's going to be Travis Young.
Is done. It is Travis Young. Travis Young on the year. He's a redshirt freshman from Derby, Kansas. Travis Young will step in. The first offering he sees from Waldron, down the pipe, strike 1. Got him looking right there. Travis Young bats .250. Only 32 at-bats, and then out of those 32 has 8 hits, 3 walks, has been hit by a pitch once and has struck out 7 times. Scored 5 runs, 3 RBIs, no home runs. The second pitch from Waldron. Young will take it yet again, but it's low this time. It's 1-1. Waldron, that's pitch 105 from the freshman. Terrific effort from the freshman, Matt Waldron.
He's been stellar today. Got in trouble a couple times, as we mentioned, but working out of that, and after those first 2 innings, he's cruised.
The Wichita State runner is Dugas. He's at first base, as Waldron will check on him over there. The throw over to the first baseman, Schreiber, is not in time. 1-1 count still. Matt Waldron, outstanding freshman pitcher for the Huskers this year. Has pitched very well, especially today. The 1-1, low and away. 2-1 to the pinch hitter, Travis Scott, who is in here for Josh DeBacher.
I think we've maybe seen the emergence of Matt Waldron as a dominant pitcher here for the staff. We're talking about over the last 13 1/3 innings now. No runs, 10 strikeouts, 10 hits.
Just incredible stats right there from Matt Waldron. Just needed a few outings maybe to settle into his new Husker uniform. Played his high school ball about 50 miles from here in Omaha at Westside High School. He won 2 state championships there. They were a very, very good team in Omaha. They've been running that city for a few years now. As the 2-1 from Waldron is hit. Back goes the second baseman, Schleppenbach, but it's over his head into right field. Myers is there to pick it up. He throws it in. But that's a base hit for Travis Young. So, Josh, this inning, the entire rally is based off of the 2 pinch hitters so far for the Shockers.
Yeah, not something you'd really expect, but, I mean, you can see Matt Waldron definitely getting a little bit tired out there. Looks like they'll have a conference. Might be done for the day. But, yeah, Wichita State just trying to get somebody else up there, see if they can give them a spark, and they're trying pinch hitters. It's working. Why not try another one here? Looks like Vickers is going to be pinch hit for.
Trey Vickers will be pinch hit for. It'll be Zach Redding stepping in for Wichita State. Redding on the year, bats .316. He's a redshirt senior from Dallas, Texas. 6'2", 220-pound shortstop from Dallas, Texas, and he steps in, the left-handed batter facing the right-handed pitcher, Matt Waldron. And now we will get an official mound visit. This might be it for Waldron, who has It's a 108 pitch count right now. 2 men on in the top of the 7th. You'd love to see Waldron finish this one out, Josh, and
Yeah,
put
absolutely.
up 7 official zeros, but right now, he's through 6 2/3. No runs, 5 hits, 2 errors behind him, 4 men left on base for Wichita. And Waldron is done. And a standing ovation from Haymarket Park, a well-deserved one. Freshman Matt Waldron
Absolutely.
puts up 6 goose eggs and is pulled in the 7th inning after 6 2/3. A tremendous effort from the freshman Waldron.
Yeah.
But there will be a pitching change now for the Huskers.
It's going to be Chestnut coming in. He was ready, and I think it was kind of one of those. It looked like Erstad went out there, talked to him for a little bit, see if he has anything left. And as you mentioned, Waldron, well over 100 pitches, just might have ran out of gas.
Jeff Chestnut for the Huskers is now in. He's already appeared in this series. It's a 5.4 ERA in the series. He pitched in a 1 2/3 inning, allowed 2 hits, 1 run. It was an earned run, 3 walks, and an opposing batting average of 400. So hopefully he can be a little bit better than that. Jeff Chestnut is in for relief. Matt Waldron, though, in line for the win, exits the game with a 7-run cushion. But both runners on base are his runners, so if they do score, those will be earned runs attributed to Matt Waldron. In steps Jeff Chestnut. On the year for Chestnut, it's a 5.4 ERA, the 1-0 record, 9 appearances, 8 1/3 innings pitched, 9 hits, 5 runs, all earned, 5 walks, 9 strikeouts, and an opposing batting average of .290. And the first batter that he will face will be Zach Redding. Number 15, Zach Redding, will be the batter for Wichita State with 2 men on. Dugas will stand at second. Travis Young will stand at first for the Shockers. A very tremendous effort today, though, Josh, from Matt Waldron.
Absolutely. You can't take anything away from him. He came out and pitched stellar. Those first 2 innings, they looked like, he might have a little bit of a rough day. Both times had runners in scoring position, multiple runners in scoring position for Wichita State. And both times just worked out of it, locked in, executed his pitches, and really had some good stuff today. And he just cruised from there on out. Matt Waldron, a really, really nice job today. And the freshman looks like he's found himself a little bit here, and he's been pitching well.
Chestnut, his opening offering to Zach Redding is a little inside. It's a 1-0 count here. Chestnut, a local kid from Omaha, Nebraska, played his high school ball at Millard South. There's a very, very good baseball team back in Omaha and the Omaha area, competing at state pretty much every single year, as Chestnut's second pitch is low and inside as well. 2-0. 2 runners on base for Wichita State right now. It's a 7-0 lead for Nebraska in the top of the 7th inning. The 2-0 to Zach Redding. Swung on and fouled back, kind of chopped back to the screen there. First swing for Redding, chops it back. It's 2-1. Zach Redding pinch hitting here for Trey Vickers at the bottom of the order. On deck stands Tanner Kirk. That's the top of the order for the Shockers. Boy, would they love to get it to their leadoff man with runners in scoring position right now. Chestnut, the 2-1. Low and inside again, it's 3-1. Chestnut's really got to be throwing some strikes here. He's got a big lead. Yeah. He just needs to throw strikes. Rely on his defense right now, Josh.
Yeah, and especially a pinch hitter. You've been out of the game. You're not in the action. You're not used to the flow. So just try to attack him. Normally, good enough. Runner's going.
On the 3-1, the runners go. Struck him out. Wow. Throw him out.
Interesting call there.
Double play. Incredible, and the Huskers are out of the inning. Chestnut's pitch. He got Redding swinging. Taylor Fish throws it down to the third baseman, Plotchek, who gets the glove down, and Dugas is dead right away. Not a very good jump from Dugas, and the inning is over. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 men left on base for Wichita State. We move to the bottom of the 7th, and it's stretch time here at Haymarket Park. Huskers lead Wichita State 7-0. You're listening to Nebraska Baseball on 90.3 KRNU.
Now back out to Hawks Field at Haymarket Park for more Husker baseball live on 90.3 KRNU.
Back here at Haymarket Park in Hawks Field, I'm Zach Penrice alongside Josh Skluzacek, and Nebraska leads Wichita State 7-0 as we move here to the bottom of the 7th inning, and the leadoff batter for the Huskers is Jake Myers. The first pitch he sees is in there for a strike. Josh, the last inning ended very strangely. Wichita State had 2 men on, and another rally for them has stalled yet again.
Yeah, and it was an interesting call. I mean, you had 2 down runners, first and second, and the pinch hitter had a 3-1 count. So a little interesting to have a guy try to steal third. It didn't help that he didn't get a good jump, but a little bit of an interesting call. And I guess when you're trying to, force something, make something happen, you want to try to be aggressive, but not paying off again for the Shockers.
There's no doubt about that. The second pitch that Jake Myers saw was in there for a called strike. The third pitch is up high and away. It's a 1-2 count. Myers today is 1 for 2. That pitch is hit to the shortstop Boyer, who just came into the game, and it's a high thrown away, and Myers is safe. The pitch to Janista, the first baseman, or the throw to Janista, the first baseman, was high and to his left. Janista caught it, tried to tag Myers on the fly, but Myers is safe.
Another unforced error for the Shockers. Their third of the day.
And that was Jordan Boyer over there at shortstop, who just came into the game, a redshirt freshman from Oklahoma City. And that has scored an error. That's E6. That's the Shockers' third error of the day. Yeah, and up steps Taylor Fish, who's 1 for 3 on the day. The first offering, curveball in there for called strike 1. Myers stands on first.
A couple other changes for Wichita State. In right field is Brett Fair. And it looks like behind the plate is Taylor Sanagorski. So Wichita State trying to give some other guys some playing opportunities.
Not a bad idea considering the hole that they are currently in a 7-0 hole. Nebraska leads them. Bottom of the 7th here, Wichita State has 6 more outs to work with. But they're now dealing with the Nebraska bullpen instead of dealing with Matt Waldron, which is a step up for them. The 0-1 pitch in there for called strike 2. Taylor Fish doesn't like it. A low pitch. Jake Myers stands over on first. He's 3 for 3 in stolen base attempts this year. It'll be interesting to see if Darren Erstad wants to send him for a 4th time this season. Gibson's pitch to Taylor Fish at the plate. Ground ball to the shortstop Boyer. This should be 2. To Kirk for 1. On to first to Janista. Double play. A nice play right there. Straight to Boyer at shortstop there, Josh. Straight to Kirk in a classic 6-4-3 double play. And the inning is pretty much all but over now.
Yeah, Gibson needed that a little bit. He was struggling. And one thing you've noticed, though, or I've noticed anyway, is that these Shockers pitchers, particularly the guys out of the bullpen, some really good off-speed pitches, and Fish saw a couple there. That last one looked like he went back to a fastball, just kind of jammed him a little bit, and able to get the double play.
So in steps Luis Alvarado. The first pitch he sees is a little bit low, but it's over the plate, catches the corner for strike 1. Second pitch there, big swing, swung on and missed. It's strike 2. So Alvarado in a hole in the bottom of the 7th. Right now, Huskers lead at 7-0. The 0-2 pitch. Alvarado lifts it high and deep into right center field. Buka moves over and makes the play, the center fielder, and the inning is over. Huskers down pretty much in order right there with that double play. No runs, no hits, 1 error, no men left on base. The Huskers lead Wichita State 7-0 as we move to the 8th inning now, going to the top of the 8th. You're listening to Nebraska Baseball on 90.3 KRNU. Back here at Haymarket Park in Hawks Field, where Nebraska leads Wichita State 7-0. I'm Zach Penrice alongside Josh Skluzacek here, and Josh, we have yet another pitching change. Last inning, it was Jeff Chestnut that came in and ended that inning, got the Huskers out of a little bit of a jam there to keep a 0 on the board for Wichita State. Now coming into the game for Nebraska is left-handed pitcher, 6'2", 223-pound junior Max Knutson from Arden Hills, Minnesota. It's a 5.06 ERA. This will be his 6th appearance. He's pitched 5 1/3 innings this year, 5 hits allowed, 3 runs, all of those earned, 7 walks, and 11 strikeouts on the season. Now, Josh, we've watched Wichita State blow, I believe it is 4 possible rally opportunities now. They need some sort of confidence before they head out of Lincoln this week.
Yeah, and at this point, I think it's pretty much gone to just get some other guys involved, get some playing time for a couple of their younger players on the bench. This one not over yet. You know, Wichita State could always put together a rally, but down 7-0, starting the 8th inning. Chances not looking too good anyway, and the Huskers pitching today has been really solid. So, yeah, they need something, a spark from anybody, and it can start with just a hit, error, walk, you know, anything. But right now they just need something.
The leadoff man for Wichita State will be Jordan Boyer, who's a 6'1", 189-pound, right-handed hitting redshirt freshman from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. This upcoming at-bat, Josh, will be just his 5th of the season, the 5th of his career in a Wichita State Shocker uniform. He's 2 for 4 in those at-bats, though, so he's doing all right for himself. 4 runs scored and 3 RBIs, so maybe a possible very solid freshman here they have here. Jordan Boyer, he steps up to the plate. Max Knutson on the hill for the Huskers, facing him. 7-0 Nebraska as we're in the top of the 8th here. And Knutson's first pitch, fouled back to the screen by Jordan Boyer. It's 0-1. Same defense out there for Nebraska. Wichita State making all sorts of changes, but it's the same 8 position players, except for pitcher, obviously, out there for Nebraska. Knutson's second offering, low and in the dirt. Fish there to clean it up, though. It's 1-1. Jordan Boyer. It's an on-base percentage of 667 in those 4 at-bats. He's gone on base 3 of those 4 at-bats of the season. The 1-1 is in there for a strike, called strike, and it's 1-2.
See if Knutson can get the leadoff guy. If there's been one Achilles heel for him, it's been allowing the leadoff guy that he's faced to reach 400 clip.
Knutson, his 1-2 offering tries to get Boyer to chase. Boyer won't have it. It's 2-2. A beautiful day here in Lincoln. It's really cleared up. A lot of clouds at game time, and it was pretty cold. It's nice and warm now in Lincoln, Nebraska. Sun shining. Beautiful day. As the 2-2 is fouled back to the screen, and we'll do 2-2 all over again.
The crowd who showed up, pretty good crowd actually for how chilly it is, but able to take in a pretty nice game on a pretty nice day.
The conditions when we arrived at the ballpark was cloudy, and it was about 35 degrees, and it has warmed up nicely into a very nice day as Knutson's offering on 2-2 is just outside. A few umpires in the crowd didn't really like that call. It's a full count from Knutson, between Knutson and Boyer. Good battle going on here in the top of the 8th. That pitch is fouled back. The battle will continue between Boyer and Knutson.
You're right, for 4 at-bats on the season, Boyer not bad at all, hanging with pitches here, which can be kind of tough to do sometimes. You watch the first 7 innings, then you get called on to try and pinch hit. Not an easy task.
The 3-2 from Knutson again, high and outside, and Boyer reaches base. Here in the top of the 8th, the leadoff man is on for the Shockers. There's a little bit more action going on in the Nebraska bullpen. Nebraska's going to try and work in some of their pitchers they probably don't see a lot of time, as they have a 7-0 lead here. And now for the Shockers, in steps top of the order, Tanner Kirk, the second baseman, will step in. The opening offering from Knutson, straight down the middle, called strike 1. Tanner Kirk today, 0 for 3. He's grounded out to the pitcher, flown out to left, and is grounded out to the third baseman, Plachek. The second pitch, he fouls off to the right side. That's up and out of Haymarket Park, 0-2. Boyer has a nice lead over there on every pitch. It seems like Knutson, who's a left-handed pitcher, so it's tough to run on him, but Knutson's definitely giving him a look. A runner on here with nobody out in the top of the 8th. Knutson, he'll check on him over there, check on the runner, Boyer at first base. Schreiber holding him on. Max Knutson, for the Huskers on the hill right now. The third pitcher of the day for Nebraska. He's in for relief. That pitch is a check swing by Tanner Kirk. The appeal from home plate umpire Tim Cordell to the first base umpire Jason Harstick. But Harstick says that he held up. It's 1-2. Here's the 1-2. And that one gets away. Fish, he won't even throw it down to Boyer. Boyer's into second safely. He goes on his stomach, though, to slide. Fish let that one get away. And now Wichita has their leadoff runner advance to second. In the top of the order here for the Shockers, Tanner Kirk really needs to get something going here for Wichita State.
Yeah, and he's got a guy in scoring position, and Max Knutson. His problem has been letting lead runners get on, and then things snowball from there. Well, lead runner got on, and now Kirk making him work.
That pitch there from Tanner Kirk is fouled out to the right side. Knutson's been having to throw some pitches here to try and get batters early. Boyer won the first battle, and Tanner Kirk is not going down lightly here in the top of the 8th. Boyer on second, Knutson on the mound. Tanner Kirk at the plate. The 2-2 is low and inside, and that's 3-2. It's another full count. Second full count in as many at-bats that Knutson has had to face. This only his second batter he's faced in relief. That pitch is low. He walked him. 2 walks. Knutson has put runners on second and third. And both Steven Ravelis and Jake Plotchek will come in and talk to him.
A couple guys in the bullpen will start stretching, trying to get warmed up.
And now a Nebraska pitching coach will come out to join the conference along with Taylor Fish, the catcher. Both Schreiber and Schleppenbach, though, stay in their positions at first and second. So 2 Shockers are on base. Boyer on first. Kirk stands on second. Mikel Muka is now going to step in for Wichita State here. A .317 hitter. 7 RBIs on the year. And Josh, Wichita State, they can't really blow another rally here, can they? They've already had 4 very good opportunities, and they haven't scored on any of them.
Well, you know, as we saw for the Huskers back in the 3rd inning, it doesn't take a whole lot to get going.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, it's always a possibility. You got 2 guys on, first 2 guys of the inning. You maybe get a, bloop single to right or another walk or something like that, and just like that, you got bases loaded, a hit brings home maybe 3. And just like that, you're back in the game. Huskers trying to scramble to find another pitcher. So, yeah, I mean, this is still a possibility. Knutson's got to throw strikes.
The center fielder, Mikel Muka, steps in for the Shockers, and the first pitch he sees is low and outside. The balls keep coming from Max Knutson. He's got to find the strike zone here, let his defense help him out a little bit. The second offering, low in the dirt, 2-0.
I'm sure with, pitching coach Ted Silva probably just went out there and told him that. Just got to attack the strike zone. The defense for the Huskers, pretty good. We've seen it a couple of times today. Pitchers missing the strike zone. They start attacking, can entice a double play ball, and all of a sudden what looks like could be a rally just killed. Okay. So if Knutson can find the strike zone, he'll probably be fine.
Knutson steps off the mound for a minute. Now he's back on for a 2-0 count facing against Mikel Muka, the second batter in the lineup for the Shockers. That one's high and inside. It's 3-0. Muka today is 1 for 3. Hit a single in the first, grounded out in the third, and struck out in the 6th. All of those at the hands of freshman Matt Weldron. Now he faces Max Knutson. He's going to be taken all the way here on the 3-0 count. Might as well. It's low and away. Bases are loaded. 3 walks, 3 runners. Bases loaded. Max Knutson cannot find the strike zone right now. And up comes the designated hitter, Ryan Tinkham, the senior who bats .273. Probably couldn't have a worse situation right now as far as the cleanup hitter is up with nobody out and the bases loaded.
Yeah.
Max Knutson has yet to face a batter who has put the ball in play. He's walked every man on base.
There we go.
The opening pitch is in there for strike 1. And kind of a sarcastic cheer coming from the Nebraska crowd. More probably towards the umpiring crew than towards Max Knutson. And it's an 0-1 count. Here's the 0-1. That ball is hit towards right field. Jake Myers is over. Tagging is Boyer coming towards home. He will score standing up. There will not be a play. Kirks tags up from second, and he'll advance to third. Shockers on the board in the 8th. It took them 8 innings, but they're on it. Max Knutson gets his first out, and there's one gone, and it's 7-1.
A smart play there by Myers just to throw it into second. You're not going to throw him out at the plate. Don't let another runner advance into scoring position. So now instead of second and third, just first and third. And now, like I said, if you keep attacking the strike zone for Knutson, you can maybe entice a double play. If bad comes to worst, you allow, a second run. You just got to keep attacking here.
Taylor Sanagorski will step in. Took over as catcher just last inning for the Shockers. This is his first at-bat of the day, and he sees a pitch in for strike, called strike 1 against Max Knutson. On the year, Sanagorski batting .286. This is only his 8th at-bat of the season. That pitch is low, called ball 1. It's 1-1. Wichita State really working in a lot of these young freshmen who haven't really had many at-bats this year, so that's definitely a plus for them, if nothing else. The third offering is low again, 2-1. Max Knutson really struggling to hit the strike zone right now. Runners on the corners for the Shockers. Kirk is at third. Muka stands on first. And Sanagorski at the plate for Wichita State. That one's low, and I think that one might have been behind Sanagorski.
Yeah.
But he doesn't move.
I don't think
the right-handed batter, Sanagorski, doesn't move to avoid it, but Fish goes over to stop the ball. It's 3-1.
I don't think Knutson's day is going to last much longer. Garrett King's about ready over in the Husker bullpen.
Struggling to find the strike zone is Max Knutson. And he does it yet again. That's his 4th walk of the inning. And he's got to be done now, you'd think. No movement in the Husker dugout. The bases are loaded again. Every man on base is there by way of base on balls. And you said it, Josh. Knutson's day is done.
And it all started with just a leadoff walk. That's been the problem for Knutson. He struggles with control occasionally, but particularly that leadoff guy, he struggles getting them out. And what happens after that is just a snowball effect. And today he just wasn't able to find the strike zone, unfortunately, for the Huskers. But now for the Shockers, they got bases loaded, already one home. Still only one out. Now you're throwing a new pitcher into that situation. So, I mean, they have some life here, a little blooper into the outfield. Score a couple. Shockers might find some new energy, new life.
New pitcher for Nebraska is right-handed pitcher Garrett King. He's a 6'3", 182-pound sophomore from Anaheim Hills, California. Has a 1-1 record, this being his 6th appearance on the year. Has pitched 12 in 1/3 innings, allowed 14 hits on 10 runs, 9 of which were earned, 6 walks, 6 strikeouts, and an opposing batting average of .280. So right there, Josh, not a good outing by Max Knutson at all. 4 walks. He was allowed the first Wichita State run of the entire day. So what are the Huskers going to be looking to do for the rest of the game here with that?
Well, now you just gotta try to slow things down. Wichita State has a little bit of momentum, so if you're Garrett King, you gotta throw strikes. Now for Knutson, obviously he couldn't throw strikes today. Sometimes that happens as a pitcher, but for the Shockers, they were all but dead before. They're putting in different players, trying to get playing time, and pretty much conceding that the game was probably about over. And now bases loaded, already one home, just one out. Bohm already is singled today. So, if they can keep things going, get another hit, the Huskers could actually be in some trouble here.
Alec Bohm, who was just singled in the 7th, just last inning, was up. So the Shockers have been batting a lot more frequently as of late, ever since Matt Waldron has exited the game. The freshman, the outstanding outing from him, pitched 6 2/3 innings today. Allowed 0 runs. And he only allowed 5 Wichita State hits. And since then, the relief effort for Nebraska, they haven't allowed any hits. They just walked a lot of guys, and there's been an error in the field. So Nebraska just kind of getting a little bit sloppy down the stretch here. Hopefully here, though, for Nebraska, Garrett King can get them out of this. But in steps Alec Baum, who's 1 for 1 today for the Shockers. Kirk stands at third, Muka on second, and Sanagorski at first. Those are the runners for Wichita State.
And we saw in the first game of the series how walks killed the Huskers. They walked 17 batters that first game against Wichita State. The team high for the Huskers actually against Wichita State. They had 20, but problems again here today. Hopefully Garrett King can get the Huskers out of it, throw some strikes.
His first offering to Alec Baum is low and inside for ball 1. And being a fan here in the stands, you just want your pitcher to be throwing some strikes here. You have a big lead. You're looking for strikes here. Let your defense possibly make a play. And the second offering is in there for strike 1, and it's 1-1. Garrett King hits the strike zone right there. And Alec Baum, you got to imagine here right now, Josh, the Wichita State Shocker batters, they're taking all the way, daring the Nebraska pitchers to throw them a strike.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, if you get a pitch down the pipe, you got to try to take advantage of it, but you got to make the pitcher first prove that they can put it over the plate.
Garrett King, his third offering is chopped to the left side, foul. So Alec Baum gets the bat on it, but just barely slaps it foul, kind of towards over the Nebraska dugout. And Alec Baum falls behind here. It's 1-2. Bases loaded, 1 out, 7-1 lead for the Huskers in the top of the 8th. Wichita State has their first and only run of the day in this inning. Alec Baum, a 1-2 count. The pitch, low and outside. And it'll be, the count is even back up at 2-2. Alec Baum bats .261 with runners in scoring position and bats .333 when they're loaded.
No home runs or RBIs yet this season, though. Hopefully King keeps it that way.
Garrett King, 6.57 ERA, looks in. Here's the 2-2. Got him! That's a K. He struck him out swinging. Alec Baum goes down. That's a big out for the Huskers here. They're 1 out away from getting out of this top of the inning in which the Shockers have finally broken through for their first run of the day. And in steps number 30, Grayson Janista today. The first baseman Janista. The bases loaded right now for the Shockers. Here's the opening offering. Low and away. That skips away from Fish, but there will be no movement from the third base runner Kirk. Would have been a close play if he would have gone right away right there. He probably would have been out. So probably a good heads-up play to hold up at third base. Grayson Janista today, 1 for 3. Had a single in the second, struck out in the fourth, and flew out to left in the 7th. Janista at the plate, the left-handed batter for the Shockers, facing Garrett King, the relief pitcher for the Huskers. King's pitch is in there for strike 1 called, and it's 1-1.
Good pitch, right on the corner. Trying to stay away, but still getting it over the plate. Good work from King.
2 outs here in the top of the 8th for Nebraska. Janista stands in there. Here's the 1-1. Ground ball up the middle. It is through. That's going to score 1. Here comes Muka. He will score standing up. That's 2 runs for Wichita State. It's 7-3, and Janista drives in 2. And a little skip ball over the head of Garrett King, and that brings across 2 runs. Both Kirk and Muka will score. It's a 7-3 ball game.
Yeah, it looked like Fish was setting up inside corner, working outside before that, trying to go from outside to in, and I think King just left it a little bit over the plate. Janista went with it right up the middle, and Wichita State making it a 4-run game. Still some life if they can rally here with 2 outs.
Up steps Brett Fear, the right fielder. This being his first at-bat of the day, his 12th of the season. Number 42, Brett Fear, does not have a hit this season. 2 men on for Wichita State. Runner on second and first. 2 outs here, top of the 8th. It's a 4-run ball game. First pitch catches the corner for Garrett King. It's strike 1. An 0-1 count. Brett Fear stands at the plate.
Big spot for your first at-bat of the year.
That one is fouled back to the screen. Josh, this being his 12th at-bat of the year, but he has no hits on the year, but still it is a tight spot for him, no doubt about it. They really could use a hit here.
Yes, absolutely.
Could make the game interesting. But he faces an 0-2 count here from Garrett King. Runners on second and first. 2 outs, 0-2 count, top of the 8th. Here's the pitch. Low and inside. Could have caught the corner, but a block there by Taylor Fish, the senior catcher. All of a sudden, this is kind of a little bit of a tight ball game here. Wichita State grabs 3 runs here so far in the 8th. It's a 7-3 game. Fear at the plate for the Shockers. No hits this season, but he has gotten on base through walks 3 times. That offering froze him, struck him out looking, and Fear is down on strikes. Terrific job by Garrett King to get out of that inning. None of those runs were charged to him, and the Huskers are out of the inning, but Wichita State strikes. Took them 8 innings, but they're finally on the board. 3 runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 men left on base. Nebraska leads Wichita State 7-3 as we move to the bottom of the 8th inning. You're listening to Nebraska Baseball on 90.3 KRNU. Back here at Haymarket Park at Hawks Field, where Nebraska leads Wichita State 7-3 as we are now into the bottom of the 8th inning. I'm Zach Penrice alongside Josh Skluzacek. And Josh, Wichita State making it a little bit of a game last inning, but now we have a new pitcher for Wichita State. It's Cody Hoyer, who is now into the game. He's a right-handed freshman pitcher from Windsor, Colorado. This being his 7th appearance on the air. He has a 0-0 record, but has a 14.40 ERA on the season. 8 runs, all of them earned, 6 walks, 8 strikeouts, and an opposing batting average of .381. And leading off for the Huskers is Jake Schleppenbach. It will be 8-9-1 for Nebraska in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, Hoyer kind of one of those pitchers. More of a strikeout pitcher, but location and control can kind of come back to bite him. Struggles with it occasionally, and that can lead to some runs.
Tough start to the year, of course, for Cody Hoyer, as his first offering is hit, and it's kind of slicing into left center field, but Muka should be there for the catch, and he is. 1 pitch, 1 out. In the bottom of the 8th, Schleppenbach flies out to center, and up steps Steven Revelis, the shortstop for Nebraska. Still no changes in the lineup for Nebraska. The top of the order stands on deck in Ryan Bolt, who of course had that monstrous home run back in the 6th inning that went out of the stadium. The first pitch to Steven Revelis is in there for strike. Whoa, look, a pretty good pitch right there. But they're going to call it, I guess, high, and a little bit inside. It's ball 1.
Umpire might have blinked.
Didn't really see that one. Looks pretty good from up here, but it's ball 1. The second pitch, that one's more easy to see. Low and away, it's 2-0. Steven Revelis today, 0 for 3. He's flown out to the right fielder in the 2nd, grounded out to the shortstop in the 3rd, and flew out to left in the 5th. The 3rd offering from Hoyer to Revelis is in there for a strike, and it's 2-1. Here's the 2-1 now. Revelis squares up to bunt. He pulls it back because it's a ball, and it's 3-1 now. Steven Revelis batting .228 on the year with an on-base percentage of .302. Here's the 3-1 now. That one's swung on and hit to the 3rd baseman, Baum, but he's there. On to first, Janista, who squeezes it in his glove. 2 away in the 8th. That one was kind of a rocket down to 3rd base to Baum, but a nice play, pretty much right into his glove. And he throws it on to Janista for the 2nd out of the inning.
Yeah, tough part about it. You can hit it sharply, but you got to hit him. Hit it where there's nobody there. Hit them where they ain't.
Yeah, exactly.
So tough one for Revelis.
In steps Ryan Bolt, who most of this day. We were talking about how he was struggling throughout the day, but in the 6th, he really silenced us, didn't he? He had a home run. I have never seen a home run hit that far, and he hit it out of the stadium to right field, pretty much just completely pulled it. Might have even hit a car out there, who knows, but the first pitch to Bolt was a ball. The second pitch is swung on. He was swinging for the fences there again. Big swing from Ryan Bolt, but it's 1-1 now.
Yeah, Hoyer pulled the string on him there, went with the changeup, looked like, got him way out in front of it.
1-1 count to Ryan Bolt, who's 1 for 4 today. This being his 5th at-bat of the day. Huskers getting a lot of at-bats in this game as they lead at 7-3. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Looking to close out the series against Wichita State with a win. They would win the series if they were to do so. Wichita State won the game on Friday. Huskers won 4-0 yesterday. That one's high and outside to even up the count at 2-2. Wichita State, though, won that game on Friday 17-5 after the Huskers led a lot of the way in that game. Wichita State exploded the last 3 innings, so hopefully it's not a similar story here today. That pitch on a 2-2, that hits him. Ryan Bolt in the back. He'll take first base. So Ryan Bolt is aboard. And up steps Jake Plotchek, who's had a terrific day today for the Huskers. A spectacular on-base percentage today. He's 2 for 3 today with a home run, a double, and he was hit by a pitch in his last at-bat in the 6th. As Jake Plotchek steps in, Ryan Bolt on base for the first time today. Look for him to run. And the first pitch to Plotchek is in there for called strike 1. Ryan Bolt over there on first base. He's 8 for 13 in stolen bases this year. So he's tried it 13 times. He's done it successfully 8 of those times. More than triple the amount of anyone else on the team.
Almost caught him leaning the other way.
That one right there, the pickoff move from Hoyer to the first baseman, Janista, almost picks off Ryan Bolt. So you think that he's a little bit on his toes over there, really probably thinking about running right now. An insurance run for Nebraska would be very, very nice right now. Huskers being 3 outs away from getting out of here with a win. They'll try again over there at first base with Bolt. Cody Hoyer not convinced that Ryan Bolt's going to stay there.
Yeah, he's taking a few extra small steps every time.
Jake Plotchek stands at the plate for Nebraska. Like I said, 2 for 3 on the day. He walked in his last at-bat. That was back in the 6th. And here's the pitch. That one, he'll take it. Called strike 2. He's watched 2 pitches go by. It's 0-2. Plotchek thought that one was a little bit high and outside. Talking a little bit to home plate umpire Tim Cordo. Ryan Bolt takes his lead off first. Jake Plotchek stands in there. Here's the pitch from Cody Hoyer. Kind of a check swing there, but he fouls it off down the first base side and out of play. Kind of towards there. Grayson Janista, the first baseman, will pick that one up as it was fouled off. And we'll do 0-2 all over again. Jake Plotchek batting .091 with 2 outs this season, so not a very good hitter with 2 outs, as they'll try Ryan Bolt again, but it almost gets away from the first baseman, Janista. Lucky that one didn't get by, and Bolt would have taken second base, maybe even third, depending on where that one went. But a good stop there from Janista off a wild throw from Hoyer.
And if you're Hoyer, you need just one more strike. Got to focus on Plotchek here.
Hoyer's 0-2 offering to Plotchek. Low and inside. That looked pretty good from up here. Maybe just missed it on the inside edge. A few Wichita State players moving towards the dugout, but they'll stay in their positions. It's a 1-2 count now. Plotchek, very nice take there. Good eye to lay off of that one. Not a cloud in the sky here in Lincoln, Nebraska anymore. It's really cleared up into a beautiful afternoon. That pitch is high and outside. It's 2-2. Very nice job by Plotchek to foul off that pitch. That was 3 pitches ago. He fouled that one off, so extending his at-bat here. He's seen 2 more pitches. He's really starting to turn this into a good battle with Cody Hoyer. Ryan Bolt gets his lead off of first. Plotchek stands in, the third baseman. They'll check on Bolt again. Almost got him that time. Bolt seems a little bit late getting back to first right now. He's having to slide in every time. Those are close. All three of them have been close.
Not a bad pickoff move for Hoyer.
Very, very deceptive move. He's catching Bolt off guard every time he does it. And Jake Plotchek awaits. It's been a long at-bat with all the pickoff moves and foul balls. Plotchek stands in. 2 for 3 on the day. The 2-2, he'll check on Bolt again. Janista thought he had him that time. But Bolt is back in safely. He has now checked on Ryan Bolt 5 times. He's checked on Bolt as many times as he's thrown a pitch to Jake Plotchek here. So it's been a long at-bat. Hoyer comes set. Here's the 2-2 to Jake Plotchek, the third baseman. Low and away in the dirt. Good block by Sanagorski to keep Bolt at first base at the 3-2 count. Huskers really looking for some insurance here in the bottom of the 8th inning, which would extend their lead and perhaps bury the Shockers in any hope they might have. Nebraska currently holding a 4-run lead, 7-3 here. Shockers scored 3 in the top of the 8th. Huskers looking to respond here in the bottom of the half of the 8th. Here's the pitch. There goes Bolt, but that one's fouled back just over us to our right. Bounces off the media deck here and bounces all the way back to the front row behind home plate. What a bat that was. But we'll do 3-2 all over again. Ryan Bolt there was running. It was a hit and run. Jake Plotchek was swinging, but he fouled that one back to keep the battle going. Cody Hoyer knows now that Ryan Bolt might be going. Wouldn't be surprised for him to check on him here. He doesn't. He goes. Bolt runs. And Plotchek sends one deep, high and deep to left.
Just missed it.
But he just got under it a little too much, and Young is there, and the inning is over. Huskers looking to end this game in the top of the 9th. The 9th inning is coming up. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left on base in the bottom of the 8th. Nebraska leads Wichita State 7-3. You're listening to Nebraska Baseball on 90.3 KRNU.
For University of Nebraska sports coverage all year, stay with 90.3 KRNU Lincoln.
Back here at Haymarket Park in Hawks Field for the top of the 9th inning, Zach Penrice alongside Josh Skluzacek, and Nebraska leads Wichita State 7-3 as they look to close the 3-game series with the Wichita State Shockers with a win, as they are 3 outs away. Garrett King will stay on the hill for Nebraska, looking to close out this game. Travis Young, who caught that final out in the bottom of the 8th, steps in for Wichita State. Young today is 1 for 1 with a single back in the 7th. The opening offering he sees from King is in there for strike 1. Huskers with a 4-point lead, 4-run lead, I should say. It's 7-3 here in the top of the 9th. The second pitch. Swung on, chopper to third. Plotchek up to first to Schreiber. In time, 1 away.
Nice play, kind of waited on that one. Get the in-between hops. And Young some pretty good speed, so he had to deliver a nice strong throw. Good on-target placement to Schreiber. And a good start for the Huskers here in the top of the 9th.
A closer play over there at first than you'd think it would be. Young does have some speed. And in steps Jordan Boyer for the Shockers. First pitch. Called strike 1. Garrett King coming out, throwing some strikes here in the 9th. He knows that his defense will help him, even if they put it in play. They showed it on the first at-bat. Second pitch in there for strike 2. 2 count now. Jordan Boyer, no official at-bats today, but he walked in the 8th. As Boyer looks in, here's the 0-2. Fouls that one in a screamer. Over to the right side. That's a dangerous foul ball. Hopefully everyone's okay over there, but a few people standing over there on that right side, kind of beyond the Wichita State dugout, down the first base side, kind of where the sun meets the shade.
Looks like everybody's fine, thankfully.
The third pitch, the 0-2 count, is high and out of the glove of Taylor Fish, and it will be 1-2 now to Jordan Boyer. Boyer batting .500 on the year, but remember, he only has a few at-bats this season. Here's the 1-2. That's just inside. and so that extends the count to 2-2, evens it back up. Jordan Boyer, on-base percentage of .714. I believe in about 5 or 6 at-bats he has on the season. That pitch swung on and missed. He chased a high one. 2 gone in the ninth. 7-3 lead for Nebraska, and the Huskers are 1 out away from going 8-1 in this 9-game homestand. A terrific response after spending the first 2 weeks of their season on the road.
Yeah, and a nice job there from Garrett King, kind of mixing his pitches and locations. Last 2 working up with the fastballs inside, and then gets him to chase for his 3rd strikeout of the day.
Here's Tanner Kirk. He'll step in for the 5th time today. The first pitch is high for ball 1. Tanner Kirk 0 for 3 on the day, but he did reach base just last inning in the 8th on a walk. The 1-0, low and away. It's 2-0. Tanner Kirk grounded out to the pitcher in the 1st, flew out to left in the 3rd, grounded out to 3rd base in the 5th, and then walked just last inning in the 8th. The 2-0 is in there for strike 1. Husker faithful sticking around here. Huskers have a 7-3 lead. They're 1 out away from getting out of here with a win. Here's the pitch from King. That's in there for strike 2. They're a strike away. And the crowd rises at Haymarket Park. Nebraska could win the series on this pitch against Wichita State. The 2-2. Called strike 3. He got him. That is the game. Garrett King freezes Tanner Kirk at the plate. And the Wichita State Shockers go down 1-2-3 in the 9th. Nebraska wins it 7-3. We will be right back for our post-game thoughts. You're listening to Nebraska Baseball on 90.3 KRNU. We are back here at Haymarket Park, and Josh, just overall final thoughts from this game and what you saw today and looking ahead for Nebraska.
I saw 2 things. One, I saw a bunch of different guys contribute, which was nice. You had, your guys like Bolt and Plotchek. Obviously, Schreiber's been on fire of late. Those guys you expect to contribute. But Luis Alvarado, Jake Schleppenbach, guys like that really had some solid games up and down the lineup today for the Huskers. That was good to see. The other thing, I think we've seen the emergence of Matt Waldron, a really solid pitcher for the Huskers. Just a freshman, his 3rd start of the season, and now going back to his last game against Loyola Marymount, he's gone 13 1/3 innings, allowing 10 hits, no runs, and striking out 10. I mean, a pretty solid run right there. He was fantastic again today, worked out of trouble a couple of times, but really just baffled these Wichita State batters and got a well-deserved win today.
He has been magnificent as of late. There's no doubt about that. 6 2/3 innings pitched today for Waldron. Allowed 5 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, and had 108 pitches. So he's a horse in there, staying there for as long as he could. 108 pitches. And like you said, Josh, he had a few, miscues early on, had a little bit of trouble going on early in the game. He even had a balk there in the 2nd inning. He balked. He was pretty uncomfortable out there, especially in those first 2 innings. So very impressive by him to settle down, and it was very big for him to get out of those first two jams in the 1st and 2nd inning. And now looking towards Wichita State, they fall to a 6-13 record. Clayton McGinnis today just simply did not have it. His ERA is now up to 8.10. He is given the loss today. That's his first loss of the season. Only pitched 2 innings, allowed 5 hits, 5 runs, all of those earned, a walk, 2 strikeouts, allowed a double, a triple, and a home run. And he only had 36 pitches thrown, and he allowed all of those runs. So, Josh, what does Wichita State need to do to respond with this? They go home now. They have a nice 4-game homestand with Oklahoma State and Cal Poly. So what does Wichita State need to do to respond with this?
I think from the pitching standpoint, they just need to throw some more strikes. I mean, McGinnis started. He didn't have his greatest stuff today. Yeah, he was throwing strikes for the most part. There just wasn't a lot of movement on his pitches today, and he got roughed up a little bit. Normally, that's probably going to be better. But if they keep throwing strikes, avoiding those walks, they'll probably be fine. They had a little bit of shaky defense today with 3 errors, too. That didn't help. But from the batting standpoint, they had a couple opportunities. They had I think, 3 or 4 times we saw that they had a chance to really threaten
Yep.
and score some runs and just weren't able to capitalize on them. So just some clutch hitting when you get runners on is, that's all it is. They would have had a much different turnout today if they would have gotten a couple timely hits today. Just unable to do so. So they can't really say anything else. Just need to get some better timed hitting.
Well, that's all that we have. A few final numbers from this game. Nebraska on offense. Jake Plotchik went 2 for 4 today with a double, a home run, and an RBI. Louis Alvarado, like Josh mentioned, had a terrific game batting low in the order, but he went 2 for 4 with an RBI. Jake Myers 1 for 3 with that triple and 2 RBIs. He had those 2 RBIs on a triple and on a sacrifice fly to left. Ryan Bolt 1 for 4 with a monstrous home run and 1 RBI. Jake Schleppenbach went 1 for 4 with an RBI as well. And for Wichita State, Janista went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs, and Tinkham, the catcher, went 1 for 3 with 1 RBI. And Nebraska defeated Wichita State 7-3 today. Nebraska will now go on a 5-game road trip. They'll go at Indiana State on the 22nd and 23rd before opening up Big Ten play at Purdue for a 3-game series on the 25th through the 27th before they return home on March 29th for a game against the Creighton Blue Jays, and that will be the first of a 5-game homestand for Nebraska. They just finished this 9-game homestand. They won 8 of those 9, so a very nice response for Nebraska. They're back on top, well over 500 at 11-7, and they will go on the road, and by the time they'll return, it'll be Big Ten play season, so a very, very nice effort from Nebraska in this 9-game homestand to win 8 of those 9 games and win all 3 of their series. Nebraska, again, the final from Haymarket Park. Nebraska defeats Wichita State 7-3. For Josh Skluzacek, I'm Zach Penrice saying so long from Haymarket Park. Again, the final, Nebraska 7, Wichita State 3. Good night, everybody.
This has been a sports presentation of the University of Nebraska's radio station, your home for continuous coverage of the Nebraska Cornhuskers, 90.3 KRNU, Lincoln.